just for like the troll-a-lols or whatever the you're doing it. You're doing it to earn brownie points online. You're spreading lies about people, trying to tear people down because you deem them the target of the day. And because they're the target of the day, it's no hold bars, and you get to try and destroy their life. It's just fucking batshit. It's actually fucking batshit. These people are actually mentally ill, chat. They're gonna add this shit. What's that fucking almanac or whatever the hell it's called? The CBC or whatever the fuck. The compendium of mental illness. There's going to be a new mental illness defined by these DSM. The DSM. It's gonna get added to the fucking DSM. These people. It's like mass hysteria mixed with narcissism, mixed with psychopathy, chat. These people are fucking... Put them in an asylum. Just put them in a fucking asylum. Okay, let's play the cat game.
What about Legos? You know how much money she makes every year from toy sales? You're a bad person. And Twitter told me that, so I'm going with it. It just seems so odd to me that out of every avenue she gets money from, you decide to go after this Warner Brothers video game that she's not even involved with. But I think I know why. Because it's easier. You get to get out of bed, pajamas on, go right onto your keyboard and type in Harry Potter game bad, therefore I'm a good person. At some point these movements always get hijacked by disingenuous individuals trying to look like the good guy for some type of purpose or validation. It's much harder work to get off your ass and go down there to Orlando or California and boycott Universal or Legos, or go to Japan and boycott Nintendo, because guess what? She has contracts with them too. The humongous parts of her income y'all just overlook. The ones that could potentially actually make real change, you just overlook because it's easier to attack this game. Now I'm hearing people are bullying innocent streamers just because they're playing this game. You've become exactly what you hate. A monster.
This game based on wizards and witches has ironically become a tool for witch hunting and harassing streamers who have the audacity to purchase or stream it. Far detached from the concerns about J.K. Rowling's view of trans women and the personal decision to not buy this game, this entire campaign is no longer about combating transphobia. It's about feeling justified in harassing and berating people online over a video game. These crybullies work under the delusion that they are the good guys in the situation, fighting what they believe is the mistreatment of trans people by mistreating everyone, including trans people, who have the ability to separate J.K. Rowling's opinions from a game that she had zero involvement in producing.
We are going to play a game, and I will preface this that I do not condone the ideals of this author. I just want to be a fucking wizard, and I want to play my wizard game that made my childhood worth living and the adventures that I went on with my friends. And I'm gonna be a fucking wizard, and we're gonna enjoy this fucking game. And I will not be bullied by a bunch of Twitter freaks with nothing better to do with their goddamn lives.
What's going on, everybody? It's Mitsune Nico. Welcome back to another video. How's everybody's day going? It's been nearly 2 months since I put up my last video. And a lot has happened since then. Yeah, I can definitely say that. A lot of bad, but also a lot of good. You know, I think it kind of evened itself out a bit. But I'm back here today with another video for everyone, you know, about a lot of things. I'm going to be covering the whole Brother Nier 2.0 situation, the Lolicon situation. I'm going to be covering so much stuff in this video. The Hogwarts Legacy harassment campaign, the VTubers being harassed over lolly models and stuff, and just many things. And it all circulates back to one single point: Twitter. So This video is going to be broken down into many different parts. Well, not exactly many, about 5 or 6 different parts. Excuse me. I'm going to be covering a lot in this video. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, well, good, to be honest, because Twitter is a very big cesspool, even if I have found a little bit of enjoyment over there on that side. But yeah, a lot has happened. You know, the whole drama with me and Brother Nier 2.0, the Hogwarts Legacy situation, and even some new things that are starting to pop up, which I will cover in the future. But right now, I want to get all of this stuff out of the way. Everything I'll be covering in this video is a bunch of archived and compiled things that I've gathered over the course of months. And it's a lot to unpack, so I will be covering all of it today, every single last bit of it. So if your guys and gals are down for that, you're ready for that, let's get right into this video with the first topic that I will be covering today, which is the Hogwarts Legacy drama with VTubers and streamers. Now let's get into it.
But now it's like, whatever. I'm almost like thinking of just like either going offline or like I'm barely into the second combat here, and every time I look at chat, it's just the conversation is just like
maybe we can do like
bothering
a
me.
be right back, like a little break or something.
You can take a break if you want. I'll just stop talking and I'll just go fight and do the combat.
The first clip is from a channel called Girlfriend Reviews, which was streaming Hogwarts Legacy with her boyfriend. And they were planning to donate all the money that they got during that stream to trans rights charities and stuff. And instead, while they were playing Hogwarts Legacy, they were still harassed instead just for simply playing the game. That's how bad this whole harassment campaign towards anyone who even picks up this game and still fights for trans rights and stuff is. Because to some of the trans people who were over here harassing anyone who played this game, and sometimes it wasn't even trans people who were doing it either. It was just allies of trans people who for some reason thought that this game like supports transphobia or like promotes it and stuff. It was just that bad that to even the point where like if you were still like donating money to trans rights and stuff, you were still going to get harassed just for simply playing or even buying this game. It didn't matter to them. So I don't know where this whole idea that JK Rowling is like transphobic and stuff came from. Now, I look back through some of her old tweets that had popped up during this whole Hogwarts Legacy drama about where this whole transphobia might have came from. And if these tweets are anything to go off of, I don't see how people thought that this was transphobic in any type of way. Now, there's also rumors out there that she supports like companies that are against like trans rights and stuff, but I don't actually know all of that. So let's take a look at these tweets right here from JK Rowling that stemmed back to this whole transphobia surrounding her. Okay, so we're going with, if sex isn't real, there's no same-sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. I know and love trans people, but erasing the concept of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives. Now, where in that tweet, anywhere, is there any type of transphobia? She even says in the tweet that I know and love trans people. I'm pretty sure that's the pretty opposite of this whole transphobia that's going on around her and stuff, you know, that people keep claiming about her. Now, like I said before, I don't know about her supporting all these darn apparent companies that are against trans rights and stuff, but listen, look, okay? If we're gonna go that route, all right, then nobody is really innocent, to be honest. If you eat at Chick-fil-A, which is a company that is known for not supporting like LGBT people, okay? If you eat there, even LGBT people eat at Chick-fil-A, and yet there's not really any issue with going to Chick-fil-A and ordering a fucking sandwich or something from there, and then people going out of their way to say, oh, well, you must support like homophobia or you're against like LGBT people and stuff like that. No, nobody says that. Now, obviously, you know, JK Rowling is very, very rich. She has a lot of money, so, you know, her pool of wealth, of course, is much bigger than even most rich people, okay? but still, I don't know where this whole idea of that she's like supporting these like companies that are against trans rights is coming from, since I didn't really see that much evidence of that. Now, let's move on to the next clip, which is obviously going to be the whole Silvervale harassment campaign situation, which was also pretty bad and even bigger than the first clip that I had showed you guys.
And harassment and doxing and people doxing my friends and like so much horrible, vile things, all from streaming a fucking video game. It's just insane. Like, hate breeds hate and it doesn't help anyone. And I don't know, I got to the point where I was sick of seeing hatred all over and guilt tripping on random art tweets. It's literally like they gang up on so many random tweets about Valentine's Day or art or automated posts. Like they wanna post so much negativity everywhere, and I just got sick of it. So I block people because I just wanted breathing room.
Now, this all happened because Silvervale streamed Hogwarts Legacy, of course, but it's pretty crazy to me when I look at this situation because she was playing Hogwarts Legacy for a bit, actually, before all of this happened. Now, the origins that I trace this back to and the reason for why this even happened to her in the first place is not simply because she was streaming the game. No, that was actually going fine for her for a bit, but it was actually because someone made the claim that she banned the word trans in her streamer chat on Twitch. Now, I'm not really familiar with Twitch and all that. I don't really watch it that much, and I never used Twitch except like one time, but that was like a few years back. So since I don't really know how Twitch works all that much, and I don't really know how its chat moderation system works at all either during streams, I'm going to let someone else who's more familiar with how Twitch is explain the situation to you.
So what we're looking at now is a clip of Silvervale as she addresses the concerns where people were alleging that she was banning the term trans in her chat, but she'll explain that that's not how all this works.
I like to at least speak to anyone in my community that is LGBT that noticed all the hateful comments and slander going around, and just explain that what you're hearing from people isn't true. And I don't know why people just mindlessly accept the things that they see on a tweet and just take it for fact. No one bothered to fact check any of this, which is surprising but also not surprising at the same time. In these kind of situations,
So when it comes to the Twitch auto mod feature that is of course the center of all this is something she already explained on her Discord server about 2 days ago, and these screenshots were on Twitter, but of course everyone just ignored them because thousands of users were coming out calling Silvervale a transphobe because she allegedly personally blocked the term trans in her chat. So if you type the term trans, you were going to get instantly the comment removed and you'd get banned from her stream, which is completely not true because she, Silvervale, uses the Twitch auto mod feature and she uses it on level 2, meaning that there are certain words and phrases that are automatically held for review if you type them in the chat. They're not banned, they're not blacklisted, you don't get banned for saying these things. The comment gets held for review because it has a certain word or phrase in it. It can still be approved by the moderators. That is what was happening here because she uses this auto mod feature set up by Twitch to help streamers like Silvervale who have a very big and active chat to prevent them from getting hate raids and to prevent people from saying hateful things in the replies, and maybe it slips through the cracks because the chat is moving so fast. That is why pretty much every single big streamer out there uses the Twitch auto mod system. And in this case, again, the word trans and other phrases like gay or homosexual are not being blacklisted by Twitch. They are being held for review because if someone's going to say something disparaging about those groups, they're going to use those key phrases. And Twitch is not taking the chance and making these certain words and phrases make a comment go up for moderator review before it's allowed to go public. If you think that's a problem, take it up with Twitch.
And to confirm all of this, Silvervale basically said the same exact thing in her Discord server. Thank you for asking here instead of dogpiling random tweets. It's not. The word trans by itself is held by AutoMod for review. It's Twitch default AutoMod behavior. I haven't banned any words in chat other than ones used only for harassment. I don't know where people are getting these ideas about me, but it's really hurtful. I'll address it formally when I feel okay enough to talk to anyone. I don't know this was Twitch AutoMod behavior because no one has randomly said only that word in chat. It's been used in sentences just fine. I've always been supportive and understanding of the LGBT community, so all of this has been a lot to deal with. As I said before, I'll address it formally, but I want this to stay a cozy place for people to relax and make friends. Now, obviously, people ignored this, because people just want to spin their own narrative onto things and believe what they want to believe and just have one come in the ear and one thing come out the other. So, it got so bad to the point that Silvervale's name was trending on Twitter for about a week or two, and people were making multiple comments, dogpiling on her, saying all these crazy and wild things, harassing her, saying they'll do it again, saying they'll dox her and all this other type of stuff. So we're going to be looking at all of this today of what people were saying on Twitter because it's actually a lot. So here's one from this account called Saviors Online. This might be cynical, and I generally like Silvervale, but this content creator cycle of buy controversial game, chat gets upset, cry on stream, get clicks is starting to feel very calculated. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this person is talking about when they say that this feels very calculated, because if you listen to her clip of her breaking down and crying over being harassed and possibly having her family and friends dox over this whole situation, that does not sound like someone orchestrated this or that it was all calculated and just thought out. It's funny how Silvervale plays Wizard game and people are defending her like, you can play the game and not be transphobic. It's just opinions. But Fruit refuses to play, supports a trans charity, and expresses love for her trans brother, and suddenly it's not just opinions. So that whole situation right there where they reference Fruit was because Fruit came out onto Twitter and was supporting this trans organization, which is known actually for grooming kids and everything, which is why she got a lot of flack for it. Bro, all Silvervale needs to do is denounce the shitty behavior from the bigots in her community that she rallied with her tears. I don't think she's a transphobe or anything, but she definitely handled this situation like a typical white woman weaponizing her tears against a minority group. I'm sorry, what? Weaponized her tears? She was being harassed over playing a fucking video game and you're talking about she weaponized her tears as a typical white woman. This is why you should never use Twitter. This is why Twitter is such a cesspool, because you got idiotic morons on there like this saying this about a person crying on stream because people got in their fucking fifis about a video game that they think is transphobic towards a person who probably wasn't even transphobic to begin with. To be honest, after seeing what happened to Silvervale, I can say I absolutely want to play Hogwarts Legacy now. Y'all are going to harass such a beautiful and sweet person over a fucking game? It's hilarious. These guys don't see this behavior as just making everyone hate them. Hashtag Silvervale. Well said. Now, this person right here, this very great VTuber who came out and said this, is... Yeah, you know what? I stand behind what they say, because harassing somebody over a video game is just, it's way too much. I can understand if you don't like J.K. Rowling and the views that she holds against trans people, if it's even true or not. But like, to harass someone who's just playing a darn game and wants to have fun and is a fan of Harry Potter, it's honestly wild to me. And then the claim that she's a transphobe and spin this whole narrative that, oh, she's the one in the wrong or we're not doing anything bad, is just baffling to me. Somebody even went out of their way to have the balls to go on Twitter and make a list of all the VTubers who played this darn game and called them transphobic. Now, this person was also another VTuber as well, surprisingly, which didn't really matter anyway because they had very little following and they just said a bunch of ridiculous stuff that only a few of their supporters backed them behind. And in a shocking turn of events, their account got suspended not long after this situation. We should make a list of confirmed trans VTubers and transphobic VTubers. Yes, playing the wizard game gets you listed as transphobic. Can people help expand the list? At Tricky Wee, at Lich VTuber, at Fillion is Lost, at Porcelain Maid, at Lorian Locke, with check marks next to their name for all those that they claim are trans friendly. And then they got Silvervale and Pikamee with X's next to them because they're transphobic just for playing the darn game. I don't even know what to say right now. It's baffling to me, honestly. And then people started pulling up tweets from Silvervale from like years or so ago where she said some really wild things that I don't really support at all, if true. So we're going to be taking a look at those as well. I'm not leaving anything out in this video. I just found out the transgender suicide rate is 41%, and I've been laughing my ass off since. Oh no. They burned down Arby's. God, I hate you N-word so much. LMAO. I don't support, if these are true, which they look forged to be honest by the screenshots. These look like they were fake tweets. Yeah, these are definitely fake tweets. Wow. Somebody actually went out of their way to fucking these tweets and tried to drag Silvervale's name through the mud. This is how bad it got, honestly. This is actually how bad it got, that people went out of their way to forge these darn tweets. As you can see right here with the editing mistakes, it's in Russian and everything. And the dates and time and stuff is all a bunch of garbled mess. Like it was pulled straight out of a Shakespearean fucking novel. Wow. They actually went out of their way to forge these darn tweets and try to drag Silvervale's name through the mud even more just because she played the wizard game. That's crazy. Trigger warning, racism, transphobia. If you support Silvervale, unfollow me right now. This is who you're supporting. Yeah, as you can see, there's the fake tweets right there. Somebody actually went out of their way to try and drag her name through the mud even more. And then you got people on Twitter who are actually sitting here and believing that these tweets are real to support their narrative of her being a transphobe. Alright, last couple tweets about this nonsense. Silvervale has made her stance very clear, which yes is a political one, cry about it. She has made it clear what her priorities are and that trans folk being upset in danger are the same as those harassing her. Yeah, this was after Silvervale returned to stream Hogwarts Legacy once again, and there was another clip of her where she said that she will not be bullied by a bunch of Twitter freaks with nothing better to do with their goddamn lives. I'm going to play the clip right now because it was honestly a great one right there. You know, she's a real sweetheart. And she doesn't deserve all this darn harassment that happened to her. And honestly, it was definitely for the best of her to just call these people out and say how she's not going to stand by and let these people get under her fucking skin. Because it's a video game at the end of the day, okay? And the people harassing her over this are honestly just stupid.
We are going to play a game. And I will preface this that I do not condone the ideals of this author. I just want to be a fucking wizard. And I want to play my wizard game that made my childhood worth living. And the adventures that I went on with my friends. And I'm gonna be a fucking wizard. And we're gonna enjoy this fucking game. And I will not be bullied by a bunch of Twitter freaks with nothing better to do with their goddamn lives. Be nice to people. If you want to make changes, go make actual changes instead of harassing streamers on the internet. LGBT people are awesome. Twitter people are not awesome. Fuck you. Wizard game!
Let's take a look at some more tweets around the Silvervale Hogwarts Legacy situation. Her community has been engaging in wild hate campaigns and literally driving trans creators off the platform. A lie. Her decision carries with it the approval of said behavior. Another lie. Myself and many other trans people are clearly not welcome, or at the very least will not be safe with her. What are you talking about? She already said that she supports trans people and that she doesn't support harassing them or anything like that. And she already said positivity and love and stuff towards trans people, but she will not let a bunch of Twitter freaks, you know, with nothing better to do with their lives, harass her over a video game. I don't know where you're getting this whole narrative that she's making these harassment or like hate campaigns against trans creators and trying to drive them off the platform. Where is this happening at? Where's your fucking evidence? Where's the proof? Where's the screenshots? Where's any of it? Where is any of her saying any of this at? Well, obviously you're not going to show them because you have none. You're spinning a false narrative to support your claim that she's a transphobe over a fucking video game. Get a life. Okay? She will not let a bunch of Twitter freaks bully her. You're one of them if you ask me. You need to get a life, man. It's a video game. Wait, did she literally refer to transgender people as Twitter freaks? Lumped all the people upset with her at playing the game as freaks. She did not distinguish between those upset and those harassing her. If you honestly looked at that clip and you thought that she was talking about transgender people as a whole when she said Twitter freaks, then something must be wrong with your brain. You need to get the gears moving up there again, because clearly shit ain't functioning right. Her massive corporate backing, pretending to act tough for standing up to probably one of the most at-risk groups in the world at the moment, with the chat zooming and going crazy for it, puts a kind of anger in me I can't even describe. Very much the same at the moment. There's a lot of anger that I'm doing my best to deal with healthily, but goddamn do people make that hard. Wow, you're actually getting upset over her calling out a bunch of freaks who were harassing her over a fucking video game. She said nothing about trans people. She said Twitter freaks. But no, you want to spin this narrative to make it seem like, oh, you're the innocent, oh, little charmer, huh? That there's nothing at all wrong with you going after a person simply for playing a video game and yet still standing with your cause. One thing for how big V Shoujo is and the resources that it has, they have at least a PR consultant, because freaks was a very bad choice of words. Yeah, I'm fairly sure that she didn't really use any of said resources in this. You don't use dehumanizing language like that just for the lulz. That's her beliefs right there. Well, she's not wrong. You guys are a bunch of Twitter freaks. And no, once again, I'm not talking about trans people at all either. I'm talking about all the people who are terminally online harassing someone over a fucking video game. Oh boy, I've said the F word a lot in this video already, and we're not even probably 10% done with it. But this just makes me angry and upset when I see all this of someone clearly just trying to mind their own business and have fun and stream and just live life, being bullied over a video game online because people are in their fifis about, you know, the creator and author behind said franchise and IP. VTubers are so cool. I love how you can cause one of the biggest waves of anti-trans harassment and at no point acknowledge that or disavow how your fans acted, and instead call the trans and Jewish people that are set after you freaks and get called based for that. What? What? Where does Jewish people fit in with this? Forget the fact that you put trans in here as well, because she didn't. Where is Jewish people at? Where is this fitting into this whole Hogwarts Legacy situation? This is just baffling to me, man. Twitter is just, it's so full of low IQ people. Jesus. And then here's someone saying that we'll do it again towards Silvervale allegedly having her friends and family being doxxed. Another Twitch streamer, Silvervale, a VTuber, was brought to tears after being doxxed/harassed for playing Hogwarts Legacy. And then the account Hazel at Neon Violet, and we'll do it again. And then, of course, someone was responding to them saying, well, she was never doxxed, quote unquote. And then the account comes out of nowhere and says, I did not dox shit. That was me being a fucking asshole for fun. Jesus fucking Christ. Well, you see, the thing that we're trying to get at here is you say you didn't dox anyone and that you were only joking around and doing this for the lulz. Haha, he funny. I'm gonna look up your information, find out where you live, and probably come visit you at night. Haha, laugh please, people. But then she makes this stream where she goes on and talks about how her friends and family was doxxed and stuff, and she was harassed over a video game. So either you did or you didn't, because it's not adding up. How all of a sudden you go out of your way to say, and we'll do it again. And she also went on stream to say how her friends and family were doxxed over the situation. But you're saying it never happened and you was only playing and that it was just for the lulz and stuff. Ha ha, he, hoo, funny, please laugh. Bragged about doxing #Silvervale and threatens to do it again to her other family members. Many people discovered the scumbag saying this and it gets viral, tries to pass it off as a joke. These #Hogwarts Legacy haters are scumbags and cowards. Well said. Mind you, she was never doxxed. She never even claimed to be doxxed, and her harassment was because she banned the word trans in her chat. We already covered that situation. She didn't ban it. It was the Twitch moderation system. You know, just being stupid, I guess. They repeat the same point again, that they didn't dox anyone. And they were just joking around, haha, hee, hoo, funny, because apparently doxing is such a darn joke to people nowadays. I don't even know what to say. This whole Silvervale situation is honestly pretty wild, and I love that it has died down since then. And she went out of her way to call out these Twitter freaks who were, you know, coming at her and tell them how she's not gonna stand by and let them dictate what she do, and that she's gonna continue to play this game despite what they say, and will not be harassed over it. So yeah, but it gets even worse, you know, because what if I told you the Hogwarts Legacy situation possibly got a VTuber to graduate? Well, we're going to be moving on to that situation in just a moment. If you already know who I'm talking about and who this VTuber is, they have already graduated, and, well, it's a sad, sad story, and we're going to miss them a lot. But before we get into that, let's cover the last aspects of the whole situation that happened with Silvervale. There's a weird specific kind of Orientalist escapism that comes from Wii VTubers who brand themselves this way. They brand themselves as Sakura wolf spirits because they want to pretend they're not real-ass people living in real-ass society. I have no sympathy for this white. I don't even know what to say right now. Apparently, being a Sakura wolf VTuber is now Orientalism or something. What? What are you talking about? Now all of a sudden it's, Lord, give me strength. Let's just move on. People like you are why people die. I will not be bullied is a statement only privileged white woman will say over this. Fuck you, and then it's just, yeah. And then it's just this person, you know, talking about how Silvervale is apparently just letting trans people die and stuff, or something. I don't know. It's ridiculous to me. And it goes on and on and on. There's many, many comments. You know, if you want to read them all, you can. I'll probably cover like maybe 2 more. Just say Twitter, you know, you want to, goddammit. Oh yeah, I've rallied the TERFs and bigots on my side to attack and harass people of my community, but that doesn't matter. Let me have fun. Woo. It's a lot. But let's move on to, you know, the next VTuber in question who sadly has graduated. We will miss her a lot. Pikamee. Now, unfortunately, I've never even gotten around to looking at this cute little critter of a VTuber's streams, which honestly makes me very, very sad considering she's now gone. But let's look at the situation that happened with her in the Hogwarts Legacy. So she wanted to stream the game, and she started getting harassment for it, and she went on Twitter and made this tweet right here. I am just a kettle who wants to play the games. Playing this game doesn't mean I'm supporting something specific. I just want to play the game, that's all. I hope everyone will have a wonderful day. And then, of course, you know, one of these Twitter freaks came out of nowhere and just said she should have just not played the game at all, stupid B. I mean, from what I've heard of Pikamee, she's actually a very sweet and very kind person who gets into no drama at all, doesn't really say a lot of mean things. You know, she's one of those wholesome spirits, you know, one of those people with the heart of gold. And it's honestly pretty sad seeing what happened to her, and the fact that this whole drama possibly is one of the reasons that she graduated, or at least pushed her even further to make the choice to graduate. So after this whole situation with her happened, where she was harassed for a little bit, wanting to play the Hogwarts Legacy game, she took a very long hiatus for a couple of weeks. And people were wondering, oh my god, what's going on now? Pikamee hasn't made a stream or anything, or even said anything on Twitter. There's been no update or nothing from her. What if this pushed her to possibly graduate, or even push her graduation even further? Well, unfortunately, their fears and suspicion came true, because that's exactly what had seemed to happen. And it caused a massive meltdown on Twitter. It was out of control. There were people, you know, attacking trans people now, and just it was a lot, okay? There were people making like images and art of her burning the darn flag. There were people saying, do your part for Pikamee, or, you know, saying, well, I can no longer support the trans people after what happened. It was a crazy, crazy mess. But, yeah. It got out of control very fast. Now, Pikamee was actually a pretty big deal in the VTuber community from some of the research that I did. And it seems that she changed a lot when it came to it. This whole Hogwarts Legacy situation that happened with streamers and VTubers alike, especially Silvervale and Pikamee, is honestly, it'll go down in internet history. It's just baffling to me, all that happened. And there is a lot more that has been said about these streamers and VTubers, specifically Silvervale and Pikamee in question. There's just been a lot that has been said about them, good and bad, over this single video game in J.K. Rowling's views. It's about time we move on to the next part, because honestly, I just want this all to be buried in the past now, and hopefully something like this will never fucking happen again. But unfortunately, knowing how Twitter and knowing how other certain groups work, and just the internet in general, it probably and sadly will. But before we move on to the next part of the video, I just want to show you some clips of the responses of two VTubers who are actually very supportive and are friends of Silvervale.
But here's what I have to say, because I've been processing and digesting stuff that's been going on these past few days, and here's what I have to say. I think that everybody is entitled to their opinion, and I think that everybody is entitled to support whatever the they want to support. And you know what? That's on you, whatever you want to support. However, I believe that no one deserves to be harassed, and no one deserves to be attacked, and no one deserves to be bullied, and no one deserves to feel threatened. No one deserves to live in fear every day of their life. That is not right. That is not right. And I think there's a lot of positive ways to get a message across without having to make somebody feel bad. Sometimes when I think about things, I think about, is this gonna make somebody feel bad? And if I find out that it does, then I don't want to do it. But everybody operates differently and everybody does different things, and that's what makes humans and society so great. That's what makes being alive so great. You have the choice, do whatever the you want to do. All I want to say is, would you want to live in fear every day of your life and be afraid to close your eyes?
Would you be afraid? Do you want to be afraid to go to sleep? No. Why would you want to do that to somebody?
I'm not gonna get into all of it, but like the one thing that's like really pissing me off is something that like she didn't even fucking do, right? Like you can't even debate it. You can't argue it. People are fucking getting mad at Silvervale for quote unquote muting the word trans in her chat, but she literally did not. It's just the fucking Twitch auto mod. People are fucking deliberately spreading misinformation to try and fucking shit on Silvervale. And it's just annoying. It's just there's literally no debate. Like you people are actually just being malicious pieces of shit. There is no, oh, well, let's look at the other side of things, or like, oh, well, you know, I can kind of see where they're coming from. They're actively being malicious. I don't understand people, chat. I just don't understand people. And sometimes, chat, is gonna sound bad, but like sometimes when bigger streamers and stuff get into hot water, I'm kind of like, well, you're a shitty person anyway, so fuck you. But like, Silvervale has never done anything to anyone. She's always been super fucking sweet. Like, there is no like roundabout karmic retribution here or whatever. She's a good fucking person. So the shit is just extra infuriating.
Alright, before we get into this next part of the video, I want everybody to pay attention to the word that'll be used in today's video a lot. Hypocrite, as it's going to be very important throughout the rest of this darn video. For anyone who's been on the anime side of Twitter, assuming you even use this cesspool of an app, and if anyone has even dabbled even just a small bit into loli related content, you would know that the word loli has been banned on Twitter. Now, not the Japanese term for loli, the English term, because the English term for loli was being used to spread real CSEM material on the platform, and it's been that way for years. Anybody who has used Twitter would actually know this fact right here. And Elon banned the English term for loli off of Twitter in order to get rid of these botted accounts and the CSEM that has been plaguing the platform for years. It's a big step. It hasn't gotten rid of everything, and they found loopholes to get around it and stuff. I actually plan to maybe cover this situation one of these darn days. I'm not exactly sure though. I've only done a small bit of research onto that situation, but yeah, they have found loopholes around it instead. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. What we're here to talk about is the hypocrites over fictional content, mainly loli and just anime related content itself. And we're going to be taking a look at Nux Taku first. Now, Nux Taku has made thumbnails with cropped loli not safe for work art in them before, which has been removed now and changed with different types of artwork. Now, this whole situation happened with Nux Taku was when Mudahar on Twitter said, "I'll take your expert word for it, LMAO," as a response to another account called Dr. Jordan Peterson, who made a tweet relating to Elon banning the English term for loli, and then a bunch of CSEM and botted accounts spreading this stuff around disappeared. He made a tweet saying, "And it's getting just impossible to find you know what." And Mudahar said, "I'll take your expert word for it, LMAO." And Nux Taku comes out of nowhere and says, "A dark day for cupcake enthusiasts," and shows a screenshot of another account called the Lolicon Defense Task Force. Breaking news: all search results for hashtag loli and hashtag lolicon have been banned on Twitter. So much for freedom under at Elon Musk. And then Nux Taku further on went to say, "Nothing as beautiful as friendships forged and making fun of pedos." Now, this right here caused an immense amount of backlash towards Nux Taku because everyone was assuming that he was, of course, saying that loli related content and lolicons are, you know, pedos and CP and stuff. which wouldn't really make any sense considering who Nux Taku follows and also the type of content that he made and his audience that he sort of caters to as well, and the audience that views his content. As I'll show you the screenshots up right here of Nux Taku's previous thumbnails before he changed them due to the backlash that he got. And it got even crazier for Nux Taku, with a bunch of Twitter accounts calling him out over this and saying the exact same thing that I said right here, that he has made lewd thumbnails of lolly art of the VTuber Gargora and even other types of lolly related content, and they also have said that he has liked and retweeted lolly stuff as well, as you can see from these screenshots right here. You have liked and retweeted lollies and made a lewd thumbnail of Gargura, a famous VTuber lolly and lolicon. You are a pedo by your logic. Shut the F up. He's got tons of lolly content on his channel. Thumbnails of Gargura flashing her underwear and reaction videos of his watching actual hentai and anime centered around lollies. Got caught in 4K lying about Rev, saying he talked about him DMs with Rev's wife trying to get dirt on him without evidence. People showing receipts on lewd lolly thumbnails Nux has, and now he's changing them to remove them and changing it using stolen thumbnails. To be frank, changing like 4 thumbnails is only tip of the iceberg called Nux Taku's Hypocrisy. He has dozens of videos where he reviews hentai, including lolicon stuff and non-adult characters, is friends with multiple lolly VTubers, and has some juicy stuff on Twitter and likes. At Nux Taku, is there a reason why you are changing your lolly thumbnails? And on and on and on, just many different accounts on Twitter calling him out over this situation, saying that he's a hypocrite over this. It got so bad that Rev Says Desu even made a video on the situation, and Rev Says Desu's wife, Darling Straub, even called Nux Taku out as well over the situation. And Nux Taku himself used to follow Rev Says Desu on Twitter as well, who is a creator that is known for his defense stance towards lolly content, even though he is not a lolicon himself. So we're going to be taking a look a little bit at Nux Taku's video towards Rev Says Desu, because he even threatens that he could have gotten him deplatformed if he wanted to, if he took this to his main channel, but he's not going to do that anyway. And there is plenty more that I will also be covering as well, but let's just get into the clip.
His thumbnail is literally a quote of something I did not say. I don't know if any of you picked up on that hilarious little detail. This thing is just so funny. Oh, dude, I feel bad. Like, I was gonna make a video on it. I was thinking about it, and then I was like, dude, if I make a video roasting this dude on my main channel, YouTube will literally deplatform him. Like, YouTube actually watches my stuff, especially ever since I've been on the Some Ordinary podcast. YouTube has really been paying attention to, like, what we've been saying. And, I'll be honest, if I would make a video on him on the main channel, I do think he'd get taken down for either bullying or the whole, weird pedo stuff. Like, one or the other. I do think so. Which is, and I don't want to be that guy that, you know, a video gets made on me, I make a video on him back, and then YouTube takes him down. So I didn't want to even touch that. Dude, I've been so good. I have been out of drama for, like, the last year, and then this happens, and that is why I dub Rev as Yandere Rev. And I don't think that will ever die. I don't have anything against Rev on a personal level. I just think he's a pretty bad person when it comes to making commentary videos. It's hilarious because this whole video is trying to frame me as as a hypocrite. Dude, this is way too funny. I love this so much. Make a video in response. I told you I don't want to make a video in response because I'm afraid YouTube will see it and actually take him down. Like, I'm afraid they will literally take his channel down, and I don't want to be that guy that got his channel nuked off the platform, even though he sort of deserves it in some way. Little rant to explain how bad faith this video is. It's bad faith the entire way through. He starts off with, like, you're gonna see Nux differently at the end of this video, and it's like, dog, really from the biggest hypocrite on the entire VTuber sphere, you're gonna make me look like a hypocrite?
You know, I think it's pretty crazy for Nux Taku to sit here and say that Rev Says Desu is the one who's a hypocrite, yet he's not the one who went out of his way to change all of his thumbnails that had cropped lolly not safe for work art in it, because he got massive flack and backlash went out of his way to make this darn video calling out another creator and saying that if he really wanted to, even though he doesn't feel like it, if I put it on the main channel, you know, YouTube might just get you and your channel nuked off the platform. And I don't really want that, even though you kind of deserve it. And also, you're a bad person, and you're like the Leafy for VTubers and stuff. And then you also make a thumbnail in it where you say that Reb Says Desu likes kids and stuff. Or at least that's what you're trying to insinuating by putting I like kids in the darn thumbnail and then Reb Says Desu's channel image up on the front of it. I mean, it's honestly just baffling to me. But there's more that we're going to cover this situation. We're not done with Nux Taku yet. We're going to be looking at someone who he seems to have been trying to get in the good graces with lately. Some ordinary gamers, aka Mudahar Honest, another creator who I actually watch a lot and I think is actually a pretty cool channel, but he's not exempt from being hypocritical towards fictional content, mainly lolly stuff as well, as I'm going to show you in just a bit. Now, I want you all to take a look at this video right here from the Some Ordinary podcast where they talk a little bit about the lolly situation.
It's like, okay, whatever.
Anyway. This is the thing, like, so I remember when I was on, like, fucking Twitter, and I made, like, the Lolicon starter pack, and it was just the FBI. And some guy was like, wow, here's somebody else not understanding that Loli is not the same. I'm like,
oh my.
I'm like, I sit over there. I'm like, listen. I'm like, okay, so that Cupid character that you have, what does it look like? Oh, it's actually like 4,000 years old. I'm like, no. What? How old does it look? 8. Okay, well there you go. That's the problem. So I have to like tell someone, I'm like, isn't it like a gateway drug? And it's like, it's not a drug. It's not actually hurting anyone. I'm like, bro, just admit it's weird. Okay, it's weird, and you can look. I watch cartel death footage on Reddit all the time, okay? It's fucking
That's
weird.
Healthy.
No, it's weird, Caleb. My psychologist has said it's weird.
I recommend it.
Like, I'm watching this, I'm like, I admit it's a little out there. But hey, I admit that. I know I'm watching shit that's ultra-violent. It's curiosity.
I think it's pretty wild that you're trying to say that lolicon art is some kind of gateway drug to what? Doing like actual real criminal activities, and yet you're over here admitting straight up to watching death cartel footage, which, if I'm not mistaken, is death footage of real people. So if that's the case, wouldn't you viewing this stuff so frequently on Reddit, as you put it, mean that it's also a gateway to more violent acts as well for you and anyone else who looks at this type of content? Also, I think it's pretty wild to me how you're over here trying to say, oh, well, I'm just trying to get you guys to, like, just admit that it's weird and stuff. No, it's not. You're using an FBI meme, which nowadays, it doesn't even really mean much. It's not even funny anymore. And most people who use that darn FBI meme seriously think that lolicons are like pedos and stuff and all that. And also, I think it's pretty wild to me as well that you're okay with watching a hentai with schoolgirls in it turned into like slaves and stuff, and yet this lolly art is the thing that gets you, that like ticks you off and stuff. It's wild to me.
So like the fucked up part about this hentai shit was, so they had this like story, all right, and like SJWs hate it. So basically the story was like they had like oni chans or whatever the fuck they called it. I don't know, like it was oni something, but there would be like, no, fuck, it was Dropout. That was the name, Dropout. Don't. So basically, the premise is it's like if you're not smart, like if you're not a smart chick, they turn you into like a like a public urinal where like you just get fucked on a daily, like you're just getting smashed, and that's just what it is. So like that, dude, it's like a fucking weird anime, and it's like, so like I like saw like 5 minutes of it. And it has, like, these scenes where, like, these guys are, like, fucking smashing pussy. And halfway, it switches to, like, this final fight, like, X-ray mode. We're just, like, seeing, like it's like you're just seeing, like, fucking just the absolute destruction of a human being. It's so like, the animation was good, but the concept was so fucked up. It was, like, recommended on, like, Pornhub. I had to watch it. Like, it was like Dropout or something. Like, I had to fucking say it. I'm like, well, what's so fucking hot about a Dropout? Like, what is this? Dude, fucking weird, bro. Fucking disgusting. Like, there was this, like, So basically, there's like this class, right, of like elite chads, and they all get their own public like urinal, like chick, or like their own like fuck slave. And so basically, this one dude's like fuck slave is like who he had a crush on. So basically, the school basically that's what it is. So he's like, I can't accept the fuck slave. That's so wrong. I respect you too much. Like I tell people this, right? Like there was this one hentai called Dropout. Oh man. Let me tell you. I literally Googled hentai on the internet and it sent me to this one called Dropout. Let me tell you. Never again. I guess I'm not fucking enlightened enough is the thing, right? You know, like this one Dropout one, right? Bro, it was the fucking weirdest porn in the world. Bro, it was the weirdest hentai. Like, it's such good quality, but the plot is disgusting. It's fucking messed up, dude. Like, I watched 2 episodes of it, because, like, I wanted to... Because it's like a dystopian cyberpunk future, where, like, if you fail school, you become, like, a fuckhole in the bathroom, right? But then, like... But it sounds like dystopian as shit. It sounds like 1984. Like, it sounds like it's badass. But then they have, like, these X-ray final fight cum sessions, and I just can't do it. Like, it's fucking weird, okay? Like, it's weird.
The hentai, by the way, that he's talking about, like you said in the clips, is called Dropout. And for anyone who even looks at even just a little bit of hentai remotely on any websites, would know that pretty much every website where the stuff is hosted at tells you the tags for each of these videos that you're gonna view. And well, let's just take a look at the tags right here for Dropout. Now, I've never watched it myself, and judging by the tags that are on there, it's not really something for me. Now, actually, I have looked at a few seconds of it, but I couldn't do it. And you know what? To point out, he said in the video as well that it was actually very, like, weird and kind of decrepit to him as well. I just want to point that out as a fact. But still, you know, you had to go and click on this video and possibly even saw the tags for it more, and yet you still watched it. But, yeah. I'm just pointing that fact out right there, that he did in fact say that it was very freaking weird and stuff to him. So, I think it's pretty wild to me that he's sitting over here complaining about a certain type of fiction and is over here trying to, like, make all these darn jokes and stuff and then backpedal and just say, oh, I just find it weird, you know, that I just need to admit to that and stuff. Yet, he has no problem with these types of fiction at all. It's like the video games causes violence type of situation as well, too, you know. Because there's a bunch of people out there who will, for some reason, don't see that this is just like the video games causes violence type of argument by a bunch of boomers and stuff. And it's funny to me because they'll also be like, video games don't cause violence, but then they'll look at this type of content, you know, lolly content, and then they'll be like oh well, this is actually problematic to me and it's not really equated to the video games that's caused violent situation at all. I don't see that. It's a straw man or it's some kind of fallacy and stuff, and it's like, no, it's exactly the same type of argument, just like the same type of argument with people saying that rock music or like rap music is evil and that it promotes like Satanism or that it's the Illuminati and all this type of crazy conspiracy theory stuff. It's the same shit, but a different generation every single time. I mean, what's next? But, yeah, I think that's pretty much all that I need to cover with the whole Buddha heart type of stuff. Let's look at a little bit more into the whole situation that happened with Nux Taku. There's not that much to go over. I just want to take a look at some more comments on Twitter from people calling him out and stuff. And then we'll move on to the next person. Summary of Nux Taku's video. Threatens Rev by saying he could deplatform him. Says he's not a hypocrite. Lollies are okay. Lolly hentai is sus. Despite the thumbnails, hacks Rev with unrelated insults. Yeah. I mean, like, Nux Taku is the very hypocrite that he's claiming Rep says Desu is. I mean, he even went around to go and change some of his darn thumbnails after the backlash that he got. It's crazy to me. Bro puts lewd girl images thumbnails and it says this. I don't know if you are unaware or pretending to be stupid Nux, but actual pedals were posting CSEM to Lolly hashtags. Lolly itself isn't against TOS. LDTF was spreading misinformation by purposefully leaving that fact out. I figured you might have been joking, but I gotta say I'm disappointed in you either way. Lolly fans / creators already get death threats, verbal abuse, doxed, etc. Joke or not, calling us pedos paints yet another target on our backs for those who take it seriously. Whew. Nux, just check your own YouTube content and thumbnails. Dude, I'm sorry, but you can't hate on this stuff and rock the boat while simultaneously profiting off it. And I've seen other clips too of you saying similar stuff. It's giving off hypocrite. I think Darling Straw meant to say hypocrite vibes, but yeah, it really is. Nux Taku while deleting his lolly YouTube thumbnails after talking shit about lolicons. Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. I'm taking votes. If Nux Taku ever addresses the lolly porn thumbnail deletions, he will, 1, deflect, he doesn't make the thumbnails. He actually did. He came out and said that his editor is the one who makes the thumbnails and that he didn't know. It was a really stupid ass excuse. Deflect, the thumbnails didn't exist and everyone is lying. 3, own up to it. Or 4, genuflect. Jesus, man, it's wild. Nux Taku is stuck in this unwinnable bind where he is either honest with his belief that lolly isn't pedophilic, or he admits to literally posting what he believes to be cropped CP in his thumbnails. Nux Taku is changing the thumbnails of his videos that have cropped lolly porn in it. Oh my goodness. If he's correct, then Nux is a self-admitted pedophile, and as he likes to include suggestive lolly art in his thumbnails, often likes and retweets lolly art that borderlines on explicit, and has stated that Kuroneko from Oriimo is one of his favorite waifus. So which way, Danny Dambino? or Danny DeBimbo? I don't know. It's just wild to me. Me when Nux totally isn't backpedaling on a bunch of shit, like literally changing his thumbnails from lolly artwork so he can act like it never happened. Yeah, like looting liking her lewd art of her lolly avatar and using suggestive lolly art in his thumbnails while he's calling lolicons pedals. The only smooth brain here is Nux. Hypocrite 10 out of 10. Says he's uncomfortable with lewd lolly, but literally uses cropped lewd lolly images in thumbnails, and on and on and on. And then there's someone here defending him too as well. Nux Taku makes thumbnails of things he's uncomfortable with all the time. But now all because he said lolicon is sus, people like you soy and point to his thumbnails trying to prove he's a lolicon. Naturally, he's going to change them to normal lolly content. I don't even know what to say. Like, the very fact that he's going out of his way to damage control during this situation after his stupid joke that he made and change all his thumbnails around that has this art in it is wild, okay? Nux is the very definition of a hypocrite, even though he was trying to say that Reb says Desu was one. It's crazy. Honestly, I'm very disappointed to see you going this route, Nux. I'm not even a lolicon, and even I can differentiate from reality. I also have a hard time believing that you haven't searched up lolly content when your thumbnails are swimming in it. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next person in this part of the video. Another creator by the name of Vosh. Let's move on. Not really much to cover about this whole Vosh fellow, except that he's an idiot who likes to whine about lolly content a lot in anime, and yet will say dumb shit like this. The way I see it, the age of consent exists out of respect for the numerous power imbalances older people have over younger people. As those imbalances, or at least some of them, are redressed through the advent of socialism, the age of consent should therefore be lowered. Or how about stuff like this, which I will not be reading out loud? Or how about this one, which is still up on Twitter to this day, and you can easily search for it. I'm not a pedophile, I'm a traditionalist. I just want a woman who's naive, innocent, utterly dependent on me, and sexually inexperienced. Also, she should be young. My ravenous desire for it. Whoa. Holy shit. Yeah, do I really even need to explain this one to any of you guys? Hey, you know, loli characters in anime you see right there, that's very bad. But saying stuff like this, oh no, it's totally okay, people. All right, for the third topic of the video, we're going to be taking a look at this content creator / commentary channel named Ween, who made 3 videos on the whole lolicon situation that happened on Twitter. And we're going to be taking a look at his most recent video today. We're not going to be taking a look at all 3 videos. And we're only going to be covering a few small portions of his video. We're not going to be taking a look at the entire thing. I just want to touch upon a few key aspects of the video and respond to them accordingly, because most of the video he just repeats his darn points, and they're not that very good of points to begin with. So I just want to take a look at a few parts of his video and respond to them. And we're also going to be taking a look into the situation that happened with him and 2 other creators on and off Twitter as well. So let's get into that. His video is titled The Lolicon Analysis.
I normally don't do this, but I would like to introduce this video with a very heavy content warning, considering this may reach a broader audience and not just for the sake of entertainment or making fun of lolicons, so to say. There will be discussions of CSA, SA, pedophilia, lolicon, and Shotokan. If any of these subjects disgust you to the point where you cannot watch, I would advise clicking off the video now. With that out of the way, let's start. So, I've made the videos, I've pissed off a lot of degenerates, and they're demanding answers. I didn't really care to explain my stance before or try to dissect the arguments presented by these individuals, because just the fact that you needed an authority figure saying that something is technically not illegal or studies to justify your attraction to childlike features is enough to completely disregard your opinion. It is within my belief that any media that is sexualizing minors or people that are attracted to childlike features have no reason to be justified. These people need help, and there is no reason to enable them. This is my opinion. A lot of people share this opinion, but many technicalities cause it to be just that, an opinion. Those videos were never supposed to be anything more than that, and despite saying as such, they acted as though it was supposed to be an analytical hit piece on anime fans for spreading illegal material, quote unquote.
So I want to touch upon his point right here of childlike. Now, let's look at what the definition of childlike is. Of an adult having good qualities associated with the child. So when you refer to something or someone that's childlike, it is still an adult. They just have good qualities associated with the child. You're not talking about someone being an actual child. And that's one thing. They could be like very youthful. They can even be small too as well. And as it says, they can have qualities associated with a child. So I don't know why he's trying to like use this right here to support his claims, and also to just body shame people as well, which is what he'll do in the comment section of his video. I'm just going to put the image up on the screen where you all can read. And basically he's saying that it's an issue for someone to be attracted to an adult with childlike features for some reason. I don't know, maybe, I don't know if he's thinking that's like pedophilia or something like that, which we're going to touch upon as well, what the definition of that even means, because he's not even using it in the correct way in this video.
If you're curious, it wasn't, and I've tried to make that very clear. Fact of the matter is that loli is technically legal as it was deemed unconstitutional to restrict artistic freedom.
Well, at least you recognize that, and you're not trying to pull up the Protect Act of 2003 or the CPPA Act of 1996 to try and support the claim that it's actually still illegal for some darn reason, even though it's been deemed unconstitutional years back. So I'll give you props for that. But I want to touch upon what you said a few seconds ago at the beginning of the video about how you said that your 2 previous videos on lolicon upset a lot of degenerates and weebs, when the only reason that they were even upset in the first place was because you spreaded a lot of misinformation around and didn't even bother to fact check or cite your sources of half the things you were saying, and that's what made your 2 videos utter dog water to begin with.
My opinion is that many, not all, lolicons are pedophiles. My goal with this video is to give you an explanation for this opinion and hopefully sway yours over to this side. Even if you don't agree that it's pedophilic in nature, I do want to present the argument that this form of media should not exist, or at very least has no reason to outside of complete degeneracy. This is a community built on harassment, projection, and hypocrisy for the sake of defending material so vile that it is illegal in many developed countries and only isn't explicitly considered child porn in the United States States because of a loophole. I'm making this video in such a format because there have been several requests by non-lolicons to provide an analysis outside of reactionary or opinionated content.
Look, Ween, I'm trying to argue and debunk your points in good faith, but when you say stuff like it's only legal because of some loophole in America or some other stupid stuff like that, it's not making it very easy for me, because at this point I'm starting to feel like, you know, maybe I should just clown on you for the rest of this darn video for saying something so stupid and tinfoil hattish. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and just keep going and just, you know, refute your points properly as I can. But I also want to hear you explain why you think that this stuff is CP and everything, and like just explain it in general, your whole stance on it and why you think this, what's your reasoning for it. I'm hoping you're going to do that throughout the rest of this parts of the video that I'm going to be covering, but I highly doubt it. And besides, it's not going so well for you right now anyways with what you already said.
I respect the opinions of those that don't sexualize minors, so I will oblige. Going forward, I need to clarify some things and make a few disclaimers to set up proper context for this discussion. The term pedophile refers to those who are sexually attracted to children or childlike features.
No, that's actually wrong, Mr. Ween. You only got the first part right. It has nothing to do with childlike features at all. Childlike features has to do with adults itself. Here is the definition of pedophilia. It is a psychiatric disorder in which an adult or older adolescent experiences a primary or exclusive sexual attraction to prepubescent children, although girls typically begin the process of puberty at age 10 or 11 and boys at age 11 or 12. Criteria for pedophilia extend the cutoff point for prepubescent to age 13. According to DSM-5-TR, a person must be at least 16 years or older and at least 5 years older than the prepubescent child for the attraction to be diagnosed as a pedophilic disorder. Now, the pedophilic disorder is explained in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, which right here explains that over a period of at least 6 months, recurrent, intentionally sexually arousing fantasies, sexual urges, or behaviors involving sexual activity with the prepubescent child or children, generally aged 13 years or younger. The individual has acted on these sexual urges, or the sexual urges or fantasies cause marked distress or interpersonal difficulty. C. The individual is at least aged 16 years and at least 5 years older than a child or children in criteria A. Note, do not include an individual in late adolescence involved in an ongoing sexual relationship with a 12 or 13-year-old, specified whether exclusive type, attracted only to children, non-exclusive type. And then we also get into paraphilic disorders as well, which included in this manual are voyeuristic disorder, exhibitionist disorder, and then many other things. But the most important parts is right here. Pedophilic disorder, sexual focus on children, noxious or potential harm to others are classified as criminal offenses. The 8 listed disorders do not exhaust the list of possible paraphilic disorders. Many dozens of distinct paraphilias have been identified and named. The diagnoses of the other specified and unspecified paraphilic disorders are therefore indispensable and will be required in many cases. As you can see, all the important parts are highlighted right here, but clearly Ween himself has not done that much research, because this is coming from an actual case study right here. This is coming from an actual study of disorders. Okay, this is an actual manual right here. Okay, like, if you guys want to read this for yourself, I will leave the Google Docs link down in the description of the video below so you can read all up on this. But yeah, this is coming from the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, the DSM-5-TR.
And the largest apparent group of them is the ones that view and distribute sexually explicit depictions of children ages 12 and under and proudly announce their love for the material. I'm not talking about quote-unquote petite women, as the bodily features of many of these depictions more closely resemble that of a prepubescent child than a short woman, and not even by a margin. The material depicts children that are barely old enough to walk, performing unknowing sexual acts. More often than not, rape is also a part of these depictions, frequently showing showing the children in obvious distress. Other features to note would be more stubby limbs, amongst other features only apparent in those going through early developmental stages, lack of an hourglass shape and figure, facial expressions that convey a lack of understanding and innocence. Those are among a few key features that, apart from the stylized faces, make this art only comparable to minors. Keep in mind that stylization is meant to give emphasis to the childlike features. I also don't believe that these people are traditional pedophiles, that being someone who has a natural attraction to children. I believe lolicons are porn addicts who went down a rabbit hole looking for the next best thing to get off to until they reached the very, very bottom of the barrel in terms of degeneracy. I think that these people can change back to the way that they were, maybe through therapy or whatever, but they are choosing to be a pedophile because they essentially don't want to go through a porn detox. Speaking directly to those of you that are lolicons, if you do not want to be called a pedophile, then you have to change, not us.
First of all, you're saying that this type of content and artwork is depicting minors and that it has minors in it, which is completely false. It's not depicting or showing any actual minors at all in it. I don't know why people keep trying to correlate this to like actual real life children, like actual minors and real life abuse that happens to them. Your own government keeps telling you to stop reporting these drawings and to stop correlating this stuff to actual minors. I mean, it literally says right here that this stuff has to be indistinguishable, used with respect to depict means virtually indistinguishable, and that the depiction is such that an ordinary person viewing the depiction would include that the depiction is of an actual minor engaged in sexually explicit conduct. This definition does not apply to depictions that are drawings, cartoons, sculptures, or paintings depicting minors or adults. And then it also says right here that this darn stuff would have to be indistinguishable from an actual minor, as it shows right here on the screen. These drawings are not depicting any minors at all in this type of conduct. I feel like creators and people who think like this about lolly content is probably the reason why stuff like this happens right here with the True Crime Daily post, or is probably the reason stuff like this right here happens. According to Swiss police, up to 90% of the reports received from NCMEC relate to innocent images, of non-actionable images, including cartoons. I mean, when you're literally being told over and over again to stop talking about this type of content, stop relating it to real life abuse, and stop reporting it because it's not helping anyone and it's not depicting anything of what you're talking about, I'm pretty sure you should sit down and actually listen for one. I mean, I get it, you know, it's not for everyone. Oh no, the icky drawings and everything, I can't stand it and all that type of stuff. But you don't have to go out of your way to search for this. Realize that, right?
You may find it redundant to point out these things, as most of you have the mental capacity to infer context, but I have to add these, otherwise everything presented will be discredited on a miswording or communication error, because obviously that's more important than subject matter and morals involved.
You've already been disproved, Ween, and we're not even halfway through the darn video. Also, I've already explained what it takes for someone to be considered a pedophile. Darn lolly drawings and everything does not make you one at all. Yeah, let's just move on and see what else he has to say.
I'm going to start by presenting my argument, and then I will play devil's advocate at every possible opportunity using arguments made by this group, followed up by my own counter-argument. Let's start as such. Lolicons are pedophiles. The first argument that you might hear is that loli are petite women and not comparable to children, therefore it is not comparable to pedophilia. I've already distinguished the specific group of loli that I'm presenting in my argument, that being material that looks explicitly like children. I'm going to present to you a silhouette of a short adult woman. Now here's one of a child. Even under the circumstance where you argued that the short woman would have less body fat, smaller proportion in the tits and ass, they are far from comparable. I acknowledge once again that there is a portion of loli that is petite women that you could argue that they're overage, and even though this category is also degenerative and I personally think that they all look like young teenagers, I won't call the people that get off to this category pedophiles. They'd probably follow up calling this comparison hyperbolic, which I've noticed downplaying the nature of this material in the public eye is common.
No, it's not. It's not CP at all, and it is not illegal at all to be in possession of this darn material. What are you talking about? did you do even a slight bit of actual research on this instead of just using outdated laws and sources and stuff? It literally says right here that it has to be images indistinguishable from an actual minor, and images created, adapted, or modified but appear to depict an identifiable actual minor. Also, right here, by a verified lawyer and licensed attorney in the federal court. Accordingly, the Supreme Court has ruled that it's not against the law to possess something like lolicon because it is not actual CP, as you can see right here. And there are many different sources that I have that showcase that it has to be indistinguishable from an actual minor in order for the stuff to be considered CP, like you keep saying that it is for some reason. I mean, when the federal court is arguing against the very thing that you're trying to claim is real, I'm pretty sure that says a lot. Even if you use the Protect Act of 2003, which was also ruled unconstitutional because two parts of it were criminalizing certain depictions without having to go through the Miller test, were overbroad and thus unconstitutional, as it says right here. And of course, the two parts that it was talking about were criminalizing a visual depiction of any kind, including a drawing, cartoon, sculpture, or painting. I mean, then there's the U.S. Code of Law as well, right here, which says the term indistinguishable used with respect to a depiction means virtually indistinguishable, and that the depiction is such that an ordinary person viewing the depiction would conclude that the depiction is of an actual minor, and on and on and on. Okay, so therefore, those claims of you saying that it's illegal and stuff and that it's CP and everything is completely false. But I want to get further into the video and cover some other things that he says as well.
Next is that the actual age of the character is not what it looks like. As displayed here, a character that I showed as an example in a previous video was not 5 as I originally thought, but 12. I would like this time to say that I still think that the character looks 5 years old and that 12 is still far below the age of consent. I would like to follow up that this person also posted rape porn of this 12-year-old character shortly after. Credit to Mason on Discord for these screenshots.
Look, Wayne, I don't know what's stupider, the fact that you thought that character was actually freaking 12 years old, or the fact that you think this character looks 5, or how about the fact that you brought in the age of consent when it comes to a fucking anime drawing, dude? You literally just used the age of consent on a freaking anime drawing, talking about, so, well, she's not 18. Dude, it's a fucking drawing. Like, it doesn't exist and it doesn't have an actual real age. I'm trying very hard to keep my composure here and to give you the benefit of the doubt and actually listen to the arguments you come up with, but they've been pretty much very stupid so far, and now you're trying to use the age of consent argument on an anime drawing. Like, do I have to explain this to people why that's stupid?
They say things like, the people who are most verbally opposed to us usually have the most skeletons in their closet. They have this narrative that anyone who criticizes them is a quote-unquote real pedophile, which I wholeheartedly believe to be a silencing tactic, as those who are critical of pedophilia are going to be the ones who would want to avoid ever hearing that as an accusation at any cost. I've seen countless comments from people on Twitter saying how it's only a matter of time before I get outed as a pedophile. In most cases, people who interact with this community quickly become exhausted with the mental gymnastics that these degenerates run you through and give up on trying to argue with the same handful of points thrown at them over and over and over on loop. Their tactics oftentimes work, but I'm wholeheartedly confident in the fact that I have nothing to hide. Maybe a few embarrassing things, but nothing on this level. Anyone that knows me knows how critical I've always been on this topic and knows that I'm critical even of pedophilic jokes that are simply edgy. There are even a lot of old Eminem songs that I can't even listen to because of the subject matter and graphic detail. I don't care about a lot of topics that I cover, and I'll say that because I make videos to make videos, not to talk about drama. But I absolutely vehemently despise anything pedophilic to the point where I am critical of a good portion of pornographic material in general just because of the sexualization of things like barely legal and incest dynamics. Even though my own limits and preferences exist, I don't hold it against most people who consume the vast majority of porn, but I draw a very clear line when it comes to anything explicitly pedophilic.
While I don't condone the idea of people calling you a pedo over this situation, or saying that it's only a matter of time until you get outed as one, considering the fact that all you're doing is just, saying that lolicons are pedos over a bunch of drawings, of course, I do think that it's very funny that you say that you are also critical of very pedophilic type of jokes or creepy jokes and all that, even edgy ones, and yet you're friends with Brother Nier 2.0, and you even point him out in this video for helping you, and yet this guy is the same one who made a sexual joke towards a minor named Kim Josh-un, who I already talked about, and yet you still continue to hang around him. Now, this is what we call a rules for thee but not for me moment right here, because I firmly believe that as long as you're cool and in their group, it's okay for you to make any kind of edgy joke that you want about anything. Considering Brother Nier 2.0 also made a very edgy joke about how if I'm defending lolly art, then I probably wax my carrot to fetuses, and yet he also made a sexual joke towards Kim Josh-un, inviting him to come over to his house. But I think this is about it. This is about all that I really want to cover with the darn Ween video. Let's cover some of the stuff that happened on Twitter, because he actually got mass flagged for misinformation for his videos and by a bunch of people. Now, unfortunately, I do not have the screenshots on Twitter of everything that happened with Ween, because his main account got suspended and everything, but it says right here, mass flag by pedals, was even extra careful in the past couple days, goddamn. So what happened was, when he posted each of his videos up where he targeted lolicons and the whole lolly content in general, he got mass flagged by a bunch of people on Twitter with both his accounts and with his videos as well for misinformation, and it resulted in him losing his main Twitter account and stuff. Now, there was also another creator as well who was also targeting lolicons and then got flack for it as well. His name is Sulage. So I have taken down my most recent video about the lolicons I triggered, because they got triggered even more and are threatening to sue me for making fun of their hideous faces in the video, or make fun of them for liking not safe for work pics of depictions of children. Pathetic. Internet never fails to disappoint. So what happened here was, this creator right here put a bunch of lolicons faces in his videos, and they were threatening to sue him for doing that and stuff. And he also made a video targeting the VTuber Fallen Shadow as well. And the title was VTubers Are Disgusting, which is another reason he also got flack. It says right here in the description of Sulage's video, yeah, I think I made them a bit too mad. Explanation at beginning of video, and then the video they tried to strike down. Had to censor people's faces because they mass reported me for defamation, lol. The horde is coming. Get better, lolicons. Now, let's take a look at another situation with another content creator named Augie RFC that happened on Twitter with him, and how he also lost his account. Lolicons will do anything to get you banned and your posts removed if you call them what they are, pedophiles, and people still want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay, dude. Now, you see, the problem with here, Augie RFC, is that you're falsely accusing people of a heinous term right here. I'm pretty sure you know that, and it's all because of these icky drawings that you and a bunch of other creators are constantly targeting every single day. And the crazy part about it was that he got his account suspended for saying this, because, in case you didn't realize it already, for those of you who do not know, calling lolicons pedophiles on Twitter is now considered hate speech to Twitter's TOS, as I'm going to show you from the screenshots here of an auntie who did the same exact thing. Okay, update. They did give a reason. It's actually fucking bullshit. They suspended me for calling lolicons pedophiles. Fucking hell, dude. And then Augie RFC, not long afterwards, also lost his account. But let's look at some more tweets. Based, also mute the notice on this. You're going to regret it if you don't. I saw your post on private and felt like kicking the nest. So yeah, basically just doing this to get attention and stuff. It's actually wild to me. But then, of course, this is when he lost his account, and Red Fox Comms makes a tweet about this to one of Twitter's supports. Yes, we take jokes about sex with minors fairly seriously. He can appeal and we will evaluate the appeal. Hi Ella. Augie RFC was actually calling out people who were sexually into minors. He was never notified of the reason for his ban. However, he was mass reported for calling out licons, people who are addicted to depictions of children doing sexual acts. False. Absolutely false. What specific tweet are you referring to? Augie regularly fights against predators with this platform. This never happened. You need to reevaluate this immediately. And a bunch of other people also came out trying to help Augie get his darn account back for saying this. Even Brother Nier 2.0 hopped in onto this situation. Before we go, I just want to show you this clip right here of Ween saying that he doesn't think him and aunties are the ones watering down the term pedophile or pedophilia. Instead, he thinks that lolicons and lolly-related content is actually the one watering down the term pedophilia and is actually sort of promoting it in a way, or is at least, you know, enabling this type of content. But let's just let the clip roll, because it's honestly ridiculous to me that he even said this. It doesn't make any single sense to me at all right here, how he thinks that lolicons and lolly-related content is watering down the term pedophilia, when him and aunties and a bunch of other freaking crazy Twitter people are the ones misrepresenting and misusing this term to paint lolicons in a bad light by saying that they're pedophiles over a darn drawing.
Looking at pedophilic material. It's honestly as simple as that. What they will bring up next is the argument that because you're spending time being repulsed by hand-drawn child porn, that you don't actually care about child victims, because if you did, you'd focus on that instead. I can hate pedophiles, child predators, and be sympathetic towards victims at the same time. I don't have the knowledge to expose pedophiles. I tried that once with somebody, but I could never get the guy's information, and all of my efforts were futile. I don't have money to donate to victims, and I don't have time to do non-profit work. At the end of the day, I'll try to do something good, but if I make no money from it, I can't do anything. I can make money from this and spread awareness to potentially harmful degenerative things. It's about what's within my power to do at the moment and not what I want to do to help. I'm going to make videos regardless. Whether it helps people or not isn't my main concern. This isn't me trying to help children, as I've already acknowledged that lolly doesn't directly harm them. This is me trying to get the degenerates who consume it to get help, or have somebody have them get help because the media is harming them. These lolicons are right for not wanting to be called pedophiles, but the way to not be called a pedophile isn't to redefine the term, it's to stop consuming pedophilic material. I believe the existence of lolly is watering down the term pedophile because it's very slowly normalizing pedophilic material. Pedophilic material, media, and people should not be ignored, even if it's not comparable to the worst that wear the label. Just because it exists in a lesser degree does not mean that we should adjust the stigma for those people.
Alright, on to the fourth part of this video, our next topic, which is the deranged and crazy aunties on Twitter who constantly whine about fictional content. Not even just lolicon in general, just anime related stuff that they find problematic, period, on Twitter. And in the process expose themselves as either big hypocrites or the criminals themselves, or both, and just completely act mentally insane and deranged like individuals on this platform, or another term for it would be terminally online, such as they're sending death threats, they're, you know, harassing you with violence, and just many other types of methods that they use against you, including even impersonating big accounts on Twitter in order to spin a false narrative around them and spread false information about them. But we're going to get into that. You know, I think it's wild how all the aunties on Twitter will always sit here and whine about anime related content, mainly lolicon and stuff in general, and yet will sit here and spin this narrative that lolicons and stuff and just weebs and the people that they call degenerates in general, sorry about that, are the freaking crazy ones who need help, who need to be put into a mental asylum, and are the deranged individuals. And yet they're the ones who will send you death threats and stuff Or they'll talk about how they want you to KYS, or they'll sit here and describe all these violent acts and stuff that they'll want to do to you simply because you enjoy a piece of media that they find problematic. Not even just lolly content in general, just problematic fiction in general. They'll sit here and talk about all these violent acts that they'll praise or simply type out and describe in vivid detail of what they want to do to you. So we're going to be taking a look at some of them today. Let's take a look at this VTuber by the name of Fudakuchi Mana. I don't even know if I butchered her name or not, but I honestly don't really care. Now, this is a VTuber who a few months back was whining about lolicon content in general after this Smash or Pass challenge with this lolly VTuber named Irina Kumai. And this is what Fudakuchi Mana had to say about lolicons in general. I saw someone got called an ableist for calling out lolly fetishizers because pedophiles are apparently neurodivergent, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up. I hope you get multiple times. Holy fuck, what are these people on, seriously? Yeah, you know, I'm pretty sure that's mentally deranged behavior right there. You're calling somebody a pedo over a drawing that you don't like, and you're over here talking about how you want them to get stabbed multiple times. I mean, I'm pretty sure someone here isn't the actual criminal, and I don't think it's the lolicons, you know, because that's pretty wild and mentally deranged behavior right there for you to wish such a violent act upon somebody and yet act like you're all goody two-shoes because you're calling out people over a icky drawing. Big fucking same. Lolly characters, I don't really mind. It's when you fucking sexualize them is when I'm going to have problems with your pedo ass. Be gone, lolicons. It's honestly wild to me right here. Right, like, literally people will shun you if you are a lolicon. What the fuck? They just have a community with their fellow pedos, but that still has a negative connotation overall. Yeah, that's just one of many examples of a anti posing as a VTuber over here wishing violent acts upon lolicons simply because of an icky drawing that they don't like, and they keep equating it to people being a pedophile or probably even thinking that it's like CP and stuff for some stupid reason. And I've already disproved these points already in the Ween part of this video of how that's not the case. But let's move on. There's more to cover. You know, I think it's very funny how antis will try and use the Chris Hansen meme or say the Chris Hansen phrase, why don't you sit down and take a seat with me? We need to have a chat and stuff. Even though, like, Chris Hansen already said that drawings and stuff is not relevant to his work. But yet antis, you know, don't know. Creators like Augie RFC, Ween, and even Brother Nier 2.0 and his darn audience don't even know what Chris Hansen already said about drawings. So I'm going to show the tweet up here, right here, from Chris Hansen on Twitter when he said, "Stop sending me links to cartoon porn. I find it distasteful, but it's not relevant to my work." And it's funny because I encountered an anti recently who said that, well, I don't know why Chris Hansen is saying that it's not relevant to his work. I don't know why he's lying to himself. Imagine telling the pedal catcher himself, the renowned Chris Hansen, that, well, you're just lying if you're saying that these drawings isn't relevant to your work. You see these people right here that are looking at some anime drawings or some lewd lolly drawings, man. Clearly, these are the pedos you need to be catching. No, not the people who are actually trying to go after children. Nah, man, you need to focus on the people who are going towards a drawing. It's honestly just ridiculous to me, but let's look at it right here. At Chris Hansen, you might want to keep an eye on this one. Congratulations, you just wasted his time. And this one too. And then here's me on Twitter responding to this person saying, laugh my ass off. His job is finding pedos. I think it's clear we aren't pedos if he's not trying to catch us, buddy. And then someone else shows him the tweet once again of him saying, stop sending me links to the cartoon porn and stuff. It's not relevant to my work. And then this anti goes on and says it is very relevant to his work. So I don't know why he's lying to himself. And then this whole darn freaking conversation ensued where this auntie keeps claiming that he's seeing children in lolly drawings and stuff. I know the content, specifically lolly stuff. Now I'm asking for your input. Which kids does lolly depict? And he just goes children, and someone says, which children? And it just keeps saying children, and obviously he doesn't have a real answer because he just keeps responding with the same darn thing, which in other words is just telling us that there is no actual children being depicted because he can't even point to which children is being depicted in these drawings. And then you got an auntie right here that really said age don't matter, it's how she looks, you get a life. I don't think that's something you really want to be standing by. Is that really the hill you want to die on, Mr. Espada 9000? Jesus, man. Woo. And then, of course, he got the appropriate response by a bunch of people who are probably just as crazy as him. And I don't condone things that he says, you know. Then here's an auntie wishing that lolicons were castrated over a drawing. I don't care if it's just a drawing. Lolly shit is don't deserve ejaculation. You deserve castration, and you're circumcised like that grape from 28. Your sperm ought to be sold without the money being sent back to you or your family. Keep in mind, these are the ones who are actually, you know, the sane ones. These are the sane people because they're not looting a drawing that they find icky. Yeah, so, wow. Let's move on to some more tweets. For my next trick, I'm going to now tell the anime community that it's creepy to sexualize little girls. Wow, I don't even know what to say right here. Look, I've already explained to you guys about the whole darn the lolly characters and everything and how that's not what they are and stuff. But there's also this right here. This one GIF perfectly encapsulates my hatred for anime. Enfeebled, fetishized, gross little creatures built from the shallowest, murkiest pools of mud and filth. What are you talking about? Out the minds of overworked animators whose ambitions died in favor of profiting off pedophilic scumbags. No thanks. It's just an anime gif of cute little lolly characters playing basketball and stuff. I don't even know what to say right here. I don't know how you're... What? What? It doesn't make any sense, man. It doesn't. What are you seeing here? Like, alright, yeah, I get it. I'm a pedo, I got exposed. The whole point of this was to justify that lolicons would lead to pedophilia and that both are morally wrong. I by no means like either, and I don't like that I consume that type of media, nor do I like the people who try to justify it. What? Okay. If you're an adult and watch this shit, unironically, you need help. How these VTubers make a living off role-playing as children online is beyond me. What are you talking about? It's just Fallen Shadow over here with her darn lolly model and just addressing the darn Twitter freaks and stuff. She's not role-playing as a child online. She's a grown adult with a VTuber avatar. That's not a kid, man. What are you talking about? And she's not role-playing as one either. This is a creator named BoBlax who, for some reason, has also been targeting the lolicons as well on Twitter for, obviously, attention, clout, and brownie points. You know, virtue signaling, as we can also put it. But, then there's this auntie right here that was repeatedly saying pedophile behavior, you are a pedo, get help, and just a bunch of just nonsense and stuff constantly. Who are you trying to fool? Get help, go outside, pedocope, get help. Yeah. Then there's this account right here. VTubers have got to be one of the worst communities on this app. Really? I mean, God forbid people just have fun and do whatever they want, right? Without harming anyone. They're literally just sitting here with, you know, VTuber models streaming to an audience that very obviously appreciates their streams and stuff and the games that they play. I don't know. It's crazy to me. People just can't let, you know, someone just do something that they don't really enjoy or agree with that much. It's very hard for people to just ignore something that they don't like. Alright, now this one is apparently supposed to be like a meme, but like it's used by an auntie, and of course, once again, they're talking about lolicons and stuff. Kill lolicons, behead lolicon, roundhouse kick up, yeah, slam dunk lolicon, yeah, it's just, wow. I don't even know what to say. Keep in mind, these are the normal people, right? They're the ones who are over here, you know, trying to advocate as being normal, and that lolicons are the ones who need help and stuff. But, yeah, let's move on to some more. As a therapist, I laugh when I see get help / see a therapist rhetoric from fan poll / aunties. Sorry, sweetie, I'm actually more concerned about your behavior. I provide therapy to clients with abusive backgrounds who have / are going to prison. These fandom folk aren't them. Trust me. Now, here's me encountering a minor on Twitter who was over here calling lolicons pedophiles, and that if you think they're wrong, then you can suck their you-know-what and stuff. And then I made a tweet about this saying, this is a 16-year-old minor saying this to us, by the way, everyone. And yeah, I mean, what I don't understand is the minors on Twitter. First of all, I don't think minors should even really be on the internet or social media in general anyway. Y'all need to get your asses in school or go listen to your parents and clean your room or something, okay? That's what you need to do, not hang online with a bunch of adults. But what I don't understand is the minors who will come into the darn space near lolly stuff and lolicons, and then will call them pedos and everything, and then constantly interact with them. Like, you're interacting with people that you think are criminals, that you think are trying to seek you, and then they tell you to go away, and then you keep messing with them. And yet, you say stuff like this as well. And you paint this darn narrative that they're criminals over a damn drawing. I don't understand that at all. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. Like, why would you go and interact with someone that you think is a criminal if... It's just baffling to me. Now, what I also don't understand is the group of furries who will sit here and try and morally grandstand and virtue signal over lolicon content and just problematic fiction in general that they take issue with, and yet will admit to stuff like this on Twitter or on other types of platforms, or will get caught doing like very heinous and horrible criminal acts to like animals or just wild stuff in general. I mean, we have the furry Carol the Wolf, we have Cymbeline, and just many other people in the furry fandom who have been caught and exposed for some horrible, heinous stuff like grooming and everything, or being like zoo sadist and all types of stuff, man. And yet they will sit here and try and act like they're all goody two-shoes, you know. And the thing is, people will sit here and also side with the furries despite the horrible shit that they've been exposed for doing in their fandom. Now, obviously not all of them are like that, but like, it's wild to me how many furries in their fandom have been just exposed for doing some really, really wild and decrepit stuff. I mean, easily one of the biggest is Carol the Wolf, obviously, and the things that he did. And it's just crazy to me how people will just automatically side with furries and listen to the things that they say, and will also just believe them and side with them when they start to morally grandstand over other types of fiction that they take issue with. I don't even know what to say about this next tweet. It was just really, really stupid. Why are you attracted to drawings of children labeled as 20-year-olds? Now, this... do I even need to explain to you just how really stupid and how much of an oxymoron that is? Because if they're 20 years old, that's not a child. Then they can't be labeled as one if their age is 18 and above. I mean... But let's not even go into the fact that they're just talking about it on drawing. But it just doesn't make any sense to me when they say children labeled as 20-year-olds. It's just wild to me, man. And then you have this right here. Don't cry on Twitter when you end up taking your toddler micro addiction into real life like half of you freaks do. Jesus, man. We've let mentally unwell people have an uncontested platform for so long that now they're the only ones making the mainstream narrative. That you've been eyeing up isn't gonna fuck you for this one, bro. These are the normal people. Remember that, okay? They're the normal ones, you know. Not the lollycons over here looting and anime drawing people, okay? They're the normal ones, and yet they say stuff like this. Oof. Also, laughing my ass off, the VTuber they claim was harassed away by the transes was already going to retire before the controversy happened and is also a pedophile, so... Now, they're talking about Pikamee because Pikamee was a lolicon herself, and yeah, once the aunties found out about that, they started calling her a pedo over that, of course, because of course they would. Also, to whoever reported my tweet, go, you pedophile fuck, stick a... Woof. I promise the world will be better off without sick fucks like you. This time the report will be justified. Then here's a gimmick account that posted an image saying, hello, is this a lolly artist? I'd like to commission a drawing of a fictional 20-year-old girl. And then, of course, someone hits them with, there's already an anime of that. And this character right here is, this lolly character is a mother of 3 or 4, I think. And she's 31 years old. But, of course, the aunties don't care. They'll still use the excuse that, well, that's actually a child right there, despite the fact that she has kids. And just a bunch of other crazy nonsense. And just like I said it, like clockwork, that's just pedophilia with more words. And then someone hit them back with the petite woman exists, you know. But of course she looks like a 7-year-old. What are you talking about? What 7-year-old looks like this, man? Okay? Where are you seeing this at? I don't get it. Okay? Where are you seeing that at? What, like, you look at this and you immediately think, yep, preschooler. Like, dude, you can't tell me that's not fucking weird or creepy for you to sit here and automatically look at this and think that. Come on now. You're seeing something there that isn't actually there, man. In what way did I imply there was? Jerking off to lollipop. It's the closest you'll and many other people will get to jerking off to legal. Yikes. It isn't ethical, it's just a legal way to jerk off to CP. I don't even know what to say, man. I still have no idea how anyone can look at a lolly and go, yep, that's a child. These people are unironically cannot separate reality from fiction. Exactly. They'll watch an anime and treat all the characters as real people. Any events in the series like they actually happened. Holy shit, that's so true, yo. I can't. And then, of course, as a response to this person who said that stupidity, talking about how it's the closest you'll get to looking at real CP, someone responded with, in what way did I imply there was? Playing video games is the closest you'll and many other people will get to legally committing murder. Video games isn't ethical, it's just a legal way to commit murder. Jesus, that's funny. They're using their narrative against them. I like that. Laughing my ass off, the panel can't comprehend fictional characters being depicted as minors. I don't know if you block me or not. The fact you're having issues defending your pedophilia is on you. Okay, so now we went from saying, oh, well, they look like a kid, but now they're depicting one. I don't get this, man. We went from saying they look like one to now they're depicting one. And I'm just trying to figure out what kid are they depicting in these anime drawings. Like, can you point to them? Are they standing next to you? Are they breathing? Okay? Like, can you see them from across the room or something? I don't know. You can't tell me where this depiction is because there is none. This next tweet is by a VTuber who said something that I very much agree with. I do not trust any community that allows minors to participate in their community intentionally alongside adults. I don't trust any of the adults who intentionally allows it. They are more suspect than any adult who actively encourages minors to disengage from adult spaces. I don't even care if the content you create is safe for minors to consume. I do not trust you. Very well said, because, look, minors should not be in an online space at all. To be honest, they shouldn't even be on social media to begin with, okay? But they'll always find some loophole around it to get into certain spaces, regardless of what we do. But they shouldn't be on Twitter, they shouldn't be around adults on social media, conversing or talking with them at all. They shouldn't be in their Discord servers, any of that nonsense. That's how I feel. To prevent actions like grooming or stalking and all that other type of stuff that happens to them. Okay? That's just what I believe. They always argue it's okay because it's just a drawing. No, it's legal because it's just a drawing. It's absolutely not okay. So, I don't get this at all. So, you're saying it's only legal because it's just a drawing? I mean, that's a pretty valid reason. There's also other factors that go into it as well. And I don't know what you mean by it's not okay. Like, why isn't it? What's the issue here? It's fine for you to be disgusted by this type of stuff or not personally enjoy it. You can go out of your way to avoid things that you don't want to see. Okay? Like, it's perfectly fine for you to be just turned off by this or repulsed by it, all that nonsense. But for you to try and dictate what other people do in their spare time when they're not harming any real living breathing people is absolute nonsense. There's many more tweets. I'll boil and cook you into soup until your physical components melt and disintegrate into the soup, and then I'll feed it to your family. Wow. Wow. You know, these aunties are really, you know, not helping their narrative that they're not the deranged ones and stuff, and that licons are the ones who need mental help when they're saying stuff like this to them over a drawing. And praising, celebrating, and encouraging violent acts sometimes towards others simply for disagreeing with them. Keep in mind, this account is also run by a minor, by the way, as well, as you can see right here. Then this one is by an account that does VTuber assets, and they use the model Marine Kitagawa to make new types of poses and assets to help out with different VTubers and creators and stuff. New sus VTuber asset release, the sticky finger pose, available on Patreon. Then of course a bunch of antis come out of nowhere because it's Marine Kitagawa in this VTuber asset studio being used for the pose. And they go, if you are okay with the sexualization of a character that is underage, just block this goblin. She is fucking 15 years old. Honestly, don't get why so many people are okay with sexualized characters who are under 18. Then the same people will try and lump those who like characters like Hana Uzaki in with them. Yes, she's short, but she's 20 and doesn't act like a kid at all. Her height is caused by dwarfism. I really hate these kinds of artists. Wow. And then here's an auntie who pretty much did a self-expose on their self. Real CP sites have hentai genre Zaize. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I don't know how to fucking pronounce that, okay? People, look. My language is English, okay? Of course, it's not as bad as the other content there, yet your fandom still serves IRL peddles content. Now, I just want to ask a question. How the fuck do you know this? Like, did you actively go out of your way to search for this type of content? Does the FBI need to check your hard drive? You know, do the feds need to come raid it in your house, bust it down your door? Because, there's only, like, a few ways that I'm thinking for you to know this information, and none of them end very, very, very well. Yikes, man. Yikes. I think jerking off to someone that looks like a child is pedophilic. The fuck kind of question is this? Yes, I'm a pedophile for finding an adult attractive because she looks like a chick. Peak cognitive dissonance. Now, I think what they're describing here is someone having childlike features, or they're just body shaming short women like always. Because aunties love to do that as well. You know, instead of well, if this person is adult, then it's okay. No, they go, if they look like a kid to them, then that's the issue, because they're going by what I like to call is the aunties bullshit nonsense of looks of consent, because that's what it feels like half the time that they're trying to do, is some narrative where it seems like it's looks of consent to them, instead of knowing exactly what makes a child a child. You are literally attracted to a character because it has childlike features. Minors attracted to adults are fine, I guess. It's kind of weird, but grown-ass adults attracted to someone I could find in a kindergarten classroom. What are you talking about? First of all, let's put this image of Flandre Scarlet up on the screen. Where do you see the resemblance to any type of real person at all? Number one. Number two, where the hell are you going to find someone in a classroom that looks like this? You're not going to find a person like that at all, because they don't fucking exist, obviously. For the obvious reasons. Let's just not even go off of her looks, because that's way too easy considering she's a vampire with crystal wings and stuff. Then here's an auntie who pretty much outed herself as a complete creep and stuff. Just look at this tweet right here. I'm not even going to read this one out loud. I just want you to read it for yourself and just look at the absolutely stupid mental gymnastics that they did right here. It's crazy. Then here's a lolicon account on Twitter that made a meme titled POV You Attacked Lolicon on Twitter. The first extension is ready. More to be added soon. Now this right here caused a massive hate raid by aunties to come in the quote retweets. Now, I'm not going to show all of them because there's way too many, but I'm going to show a few, and even a certain someone that we all, know and love, sarcasm, popped up. The pedophiles have assembled. Do y'all not have jobs? Good to know we now have a list of known pedophiles. And of course, as you can see on the list, there's Rebses Desu, Falling Shadow, VTubers by the name of Froon Bunara and Alice Alucard and Ramelia, and a few other accounts as well. So basically what they're doing is calling all of them, along with all the others that I didn't name on here, pedos and stuff, over a meme. And because some of them on here are indeed actually lolicons and stuff, but it's just crazy to me how these aunties came over here for a meme and just started ragging on this darn account. Take a shower, go outside, get a job. You're an embarrassment to the Indonesian flag. And then, of course, a certain someone popped up as well, Brother Nier 2.0. Quite the gaggle of misfits. Because it doesn't seem like he can stay away from the lolicon drama either. He gotta have his input every single time as well. Whether it's actually commenting under these posts, quote retweeting them, or retweeting tweets by aunties and liking their post as well. But we're going to move on to our final part of the video. I think that's a great segue into it, actually, because it's going to be talking about a certain someone himself. Brother Nier 2.0 and the drama between me and him. Let's get into it. Part 5, the final part of the video. The Brother Nier 2.0 lolicon drama. Where do I even start with this? For those of you who have been keeping up with the situation, you should already know most of what happened. But there is much, much more. Alright, now before we get into this whole situation between me, Brother Nier 2.0, and the whole lolicon situation on Twitter and on YouTube, I just want to play a few audio clips from his Twitter audio circle space, where he makes claims that if lolicon is legal going by my logic, then that would also mean that child marriage is also legal as well in Palestine. He also invites a minor into his Twitter audio space to debate with him on the adult topic of lolicon for some darn reason. And he also makes the claim that anti should be a slur now, or he declares that it's a slur now to him and everyone else who was called an anti, and that lolicons should have the word pedophile be used as a slur against them. So now he's literally trying to water down the word pedophile more than he already is. It's honestly just baffling to me, but I'm going to play the clips right here to let you hear what I'm talking about. Now, unfortunately, since it's a Twitter audio space, there is no video, so there's just going to be the audio clips over my background gameplay.
Hello there.
Wait, who dat?
I think that's the one with the fox picture or whatever.
Janian?
Hello. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Yep, I was
How
right.
are y'all doing?
We're terrible. We hate life.
Terrible.
Same. I'm going through a phase of nihilism right now.
So, are you a girl or are you just like a young 13-year-old?
I'm just a young kid, ready to give up on
When you're
life.
13?
Kind of blow. Well, not necessarily.
There's no way. Bro, I'm go. Never mind. That was something
Go on. It's fine. Alright.
Holy cow. I'm playing hardcore mode right now. I have no idea how this
So, guys, I don't want my parents to yell at me, so I gotta leave. See ya.
Alright, see ya, bro.
I ain't getting rid, so I'm gonna just mute for a bit.
Okay. I'm just gonna read what Sean
Oh no.
highlighted.
That's
I'm
not
just gonna...
good when he highlights garbage.
Yeah. Persons of ordinary intelligence can discern whether a depiction of virtually indistinguishable from a photograph of a real child engaged in explicit conduct. The question is whether a reasonable, unsuspecting viewer would consider the depiction.
In Yemen, I heard like the number one, it's pronounced Palestine, not Palestine, and number
I don't
two
care.
in Yemen, and number two in Yemen, I'm pretty sure the age of consent is 9 in Yemen, but they're in the civil war though, so it really depends on like where you see it.
I mean,
See?
Yeah, but they're like in civil war, so maybe like the Houthi rebels or Al Qaeda. Like, it really depends.
So if lolicon being legal makes it morally permissible, then I guess that also means that child marriage in Palestine is also okay by his logic. I'm just going by his logic.
Yeah, and like.
Yeah, I know. His logic. Because his logic means.
Yeah. With that logic, like drawing should have human rights according to him. That's an actual argument I saw from an anti.
I hate the term anti.
Bro, like, yeah, I don't know.
At this point, anti's a slur.
Every
Okay, listen. If anti, I declare that anti towards us is a slur, and that the slur towards lolicons is pedophile.
Oh gosh.
I declare that reality. Anti is a slur for people with common sense that think lolicon is CP, and the slur towards lolicons is pedophile. Here's why I call it a slur, right? It's because they take a lot of offense to it, right?
Yeah.
They get so aggressively defensive about it and how it's not actually pedophilia that I think it's justified to call it a slur towards them.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm gonna make like some dumb point here, but why? So like, damn it, I can't.
All right.
So yeah, as you can hear from the audio clips right there from Brother Nier's Twitter space, the things that he says is pretty wild, but it gets so much fucking worse because he goes out of his way to make an AI clone of my darn voice where I sit here and say pedophilic remarks and stuff, talking about how I like to freaking diddle kids or how I want CP and everything. And he also has this minor on the stream says stuff about how I want to do things to him near the end of the darn stream and stuff, and then goes, I don't know where I was going with this. So this whole narrative that Brother Nier keeps trying to paint of me being some kind of freaking pedo and stuff over drawings is going way too damn far. And it's funny to me because he got so riled up and in his feelings about me saying that he was a potential groomer due to the fact that this dude made an actual sexual joke towards a minor that he constantly hangs around with, and he constantly hangs around minors. Hell, he even has another one in the stream right here like I just showed you guys and gals. And yet he wants to sit here and paint this narrative of me being someone who is attracted to children, all because of a fucking anime drawing. And he goes out of his way to make AI clone voices of me and stuff, and says all this heinous and slanderous stuff about me, and paints this slanderous image of me. But I'm just going to let the audio clips speak for themselves so you can hear what I'm talking about.
I'm launching Soundpad right now. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Alright.
What's going on, everybody? It's Mitsune Nika, and basically, I like kids. I got exposed by Brother Nier 2.0 for liking kids. Y'all want to spam child porn to this man, please? Thank you, fellow toddler fondlers.
Hold up, guys. ShaunTheLegend said what?
Dude, I hear that.
ShaunTheLegend said what? Hold on, let me play the clip again. Instant replay. Let's instant replay this.
What's going on, everybody? It's Mitsune Nika, and basically, I like kids. I got exposed by Brother Nier 2.0 for liking kids. Y'all want to spam child porn to this man, please? Thank you, fellow toddler fondlers.
Definitely. Just gold.
It seems like I was 100% correct, boys.
Oh man. Send me the file of that audio. I'm just gonna send it to.
I have more.
There's a lot more. And a lot worse as well.
Send to us also, what the hell is a woke McDonald's?
Oh, what's an unwoke McDonald's?
You know what? Psychonautic therapy? I kind of want to just acknowledge your question towards me about Matilda. All right? Yes, I would fuck her, and let me tell you why. She may not be a drawing, but she do be kind of fine, though.
Dude, that shit genuinely was just the worst shit I heard when you played it the first time. It was just awful.
I know.
Okay.
Also, hey, Lucas, I just noticed him.
Hey,
oh, yo, Lucas. Dude,
Yo, Lucas.
So yeah, anybody with 2 brain cells that at least function right can see that this is all pretty fucking bad, and it's not looking good for Brother Nier 2.0 and his whole crew at all. And the crazy thing about it is that the only reason I said that he's a potential groomer is because of the fact that he made a sexual joke towards a minor, and the fact that this dude kept calling me a pedo first over anime drawings. Otherwise, that I never even would have came at him so hard for making such a joke if he wasn't trying to come at me over a drawing. But now he goes out of his way to make AI clone voices of me saying all this disgusting and nasty shit. So, since he wants to do things like that, I invite Brother Nier 2.0 onto this video himself.
What's up, brokies? It's me, Brother Nier 2.0. I'm here to share with everyone a big announcement on my birthday. I'm proud to say that. I, Brother Nier 2.0, am a big-ass, hypocritical pussy bitch about lolicon content, because I love shota dicks. I may hate lolicons, but I'm a closeted shotacon. I told my Twitter circle all about this shit. Also, am fine with painting lolicons as pedophiles, because it makes me a closeted shotacon feel better, because I see nothing wrong with me, an adult and a gay femboy loving shotacon making sexual jokes towards another guy who just happens to be a minor. At the end of the day, I was just joking towards Mitsune Nika and Kim Josh Yoon. The minor in question, besides the minor, was okay with my joke, so it's fine to joke like that if the minor allows you to. I'm also a big fan of Seth the Programmer, another guy who just like me bitched about lolicon and was caught making sexual jokes towards a minor. Also, he was an all-around piece of shit, just like me. He's such a huge inspiration and influence towards the way I am. We're almost carbon copies because I also make fucked up jokes and tell people to kill themselves. It's just the internet, so a kill yourself joke and a Ronnie McNutt suicide video getting sent to you in direct messages means nothing at all.
Well, nothing too wild, obviously, because I'm not Brother Nier 2.0 and his edgy-ass crew. But I'd say it was a pretty spot-on impression any darn ways, and it's pretty right considering how much of a hypocritical dumbass Brother Nier 2.0 and his whole crew is. But let's get into some more things, because I'm also going to be responding to a little bit of his video titled I Am Being Slandered, where he addresses me calling him a potential groomer. But instead of that, he tries to say that I called him a pedo over the darn joke, which I never once used the word pedo against him. at all. I always said that he was either a groomer or a potential groomer. I never once said that he was a pedophile. And besides, in order for someone to be a pedophile and have a pedophilic disorder, which I will show up on the screen again, it has to be somebody who is a prepubescent child, okay? As you can see from right here. So if he really was trying to come at Kim Josh-un over the situation, considering the fact that he was about 16 to 17 at this time, it would not be considered a pedophilic disorder. Although I'm not defending that shit at all anyway, but I'm just making this point clear that he wouldn't be considered a pedophile any darn way. But it still does not excuse him for making that type of joke towards Kim Josh-un. And keep in mind, Brother Nier 2.0 himself is a femboy and is gay, and so is Kim Josh-un himself, as you can see from these screenshots right here. So what does it mean when a gay person invites another gay person over to their house so they can discuss on how to become a FAGGOT role? I'll leave that up for you people to decide. And keep in mind, Kim Josh-un himself never even denied the fact that the joke was sexual. In fact, when someone asked him about it and was like, were you really a minor when this stuff happened? He said, I mean, yes, but it was just a joke, and besides, we're friends and stuff. But let's get into some... Let's just get into the darn video where Brother Nier addressed the whole situation.
Hello everyone, and welcome to an exclusive Brother Nier cancellation video. For those of you that are currently experiencing the immense pleasure and satisfaction of not owning a Twitter account, this YouTuber, ShaunTheLegend, has officially accused me of pedophilia and grooming. This has been going on for a few days now, and Shaun continues to add fuel to the fire both on Twitter and YouTube as well.
I love how you're acting all sad and depressed over this darn situation, because as you put it in the video, people were actually coming at you over the darn joke and believing that you were truly a groomer and stuff like that, or they were targeting and harassing you over the small joke that you made, which you shouldn't have made at all. I don't even know why you're constantly friends with minors, why you allow them in your darn Discord server, why you constantly talk to them. Adults should not be around minors online at all. And now you're over here at the beginning of this video acting all sad and depressed. Boo-hoo, woo me, I made a sexual joke towards a minor and people are coming at me over it. ShaunTheLegend is coming at me over it. And you also make the claim that I accused you of pedophilia and stuff, which is completely fucking wrong. I never once used that against you. I always said the word groomer, or that you were a potential groomer. That has nothing to do with being a pedophile. At least maybe probably 30% of the time, because there's different types of grooming. First of all, obviously there's the sexual one, and also you can groom people who are adults as well. You do realize that, right?
And this all started because I called him out for consuming lolicon, which is classified under US federal law as virtual CP.
Once again, no it isn't, and I already disproved this point to you multiple times on Twitter, and then you tried using the moral argument against me when morals are subjective. And besides, when it comes to you, I think you barely have any fucking morals to begin with, considering the types of jokes that you make and the type of content that you consume and just the way you act in general. But since you still is running this darn narrative that it's classified as CP under federal law, I'm just gonna put up multiple screenshots debunking you once again, like I did on Twitter. And it's not going to be my fault if you don't read them this time, like you didn't read them in my last video, and you tried to make the claim that I used Japanese laws against you when I didn't. I used American and Japanese laws, and a bunch of people for some reason kept coming to my comment section on my video saying, well, why did you use Japanese laws against Brother Nier 2.0 to try to argue against the legality of lolicon, when that was completely fucking false. I used American laws and Japanese laws because obviously I live in America. Now, I don't live in New York City. That was a false narrative that I spun for you guys, so you guys can sit here and actually think, oh my god, we're gonna go and try and find out where Mitsune Nika lives or whatever and report him to the police, or maybe even get him doxxed. And it's crazy because in your audio clip you also made the joke about if you knew where I was, I should just get killed, like just kill him. And you didn't even, to be honest, you didn't even say it was a joke. You didn't even say afterwards, oh, I'm only joking. You just said, kill him. That's literally all you said. Well, does anyone know where he lives at? Well, what do we do when we find out? Kill him. That's all you said. You didn't even go afterwards and be like, oh, well, I was only joking. Obviously, I don't want him to die or have anybody come kill him or anything like that. No. But I guess this is the lengths you're going to because I called you out over a sexual joke you made towards a minor. So since you want to say, fuck me, well, I'm going to toss it right back at you and your little posse. Fuck you as well, Brother Nier 2.0. The only difference is I don't harbor any hatred towards you. I just don't like the way you fucking act.
Ever since our drama started, he's been doing nothing but deflecting any and all criticism, silencing and blocking anyone that is associated with me, constantly monitoring my channel and Twitter over anything I do, and making the drama worse. He hides in his echo chamber to make false claims about me, my friends, and my intent. He twists the narrative in every possible way he can.
First of all, I blocked you guys because you kept getting on my fucking nerves about this whole lolicon situation. I told you multiple times to leave me alone over it, and you didn't. Instead, some of y'all just tried to follow me after I locked my account and was talking with my followers over everything that happened and said I wanted to be left alone. Y'all kept coming to my DM, you came to my YouTube channel, and then after a while I said, you know what, fuck it. Since you guys don't want to end this and you guys want to make multiple videos on me and try to get other creators to make multiple videos on me, excuse me, I'm just going to keep coming at you guys as well then, since it doesn't seem like you want to let this go. And what happened afterwards? Well, I got notified that you made this type of joke towards Kim Josh-un, the minor in question, and I called you out for it. Also, I love how you're over here talking about somehow, oh, well, he's stalking my darn tweets, coming to my videos and everything and all that, constantly making comments under it, when that's exactly what you guys were doing, and I told you all to stop. You looked through all of my tweets, you looked at my followers, okay, you kept checking out and see what I was saying to them and stuff. It's honestly baffling to me that when the tables turn against you and you're stacked against the wall, you're trying to use this narrative against me now, when that's exactly what I said to you guys. And when you didn't abide by this, all of a sudden it's now an issue because I'm coming at you the same exact way. The only difference is I'm not even coming at you that hard. I'm pretty much just mostly alone out here, and most of the people who were coming at you as well, I didn't send them after you or anything like that. They're not really a part of my audience. My audience, honestly, is not really that involved in this drama, considering the subject matter to begin with.
He hides behind the supposed legality of lolicon, completely throwing out the immorality of consuming said material.
You see, you just contradicted yourself right there, because at the beginning of the video, you said, oh, well, it's classified as CP and it's illegal under federal law, but even though it's not, and I already showed the screenshots to disprove this, Brother Nier 2.0, the same ones plus many more that I already showed you in Psychonautic Therapy and plenty of your other dumb followers on Twitter. But now you're over here going, oh, well, it's legal, but you're not looking at the morality behind it. This is the same exact thing you tried to use against me when I told you already that it's not even comparable, even under federal law, as CP, and now you're trying to go with the morality route. I mean, it's like you just don't want to let this situation go and just admit when you're wrong, okay? You want to constantly find some kind of loophole or way around this so you can win this whole situation and be like, yes, I finally got you, lolicons. Ha ha. Ooh, there we go. Look at this. I can get you with this morality, or with this Miller test that was ruled as unconstitutional, or with the obscenity law and stuff like this. That's exactly what you're doing. You're just pulling multiple stuff out your ass, and then when it gets disproved once again, you go out of your way to go find something else. And you even used an outdated fucking law against me, the CPPA Act of 1996, and like most other people who are always arguing against lollies and stuff, you used the Protect Act of 2003, which was also ruled unconstitutional. It's crazy to me. It's like you just cannot accept defeat or nothing. And the funny thing about it is that you're the one thinking that I'm taking an L on this situation, when, first of all, let's look at my channel. When this whole drama started, I had 2,210 subs. I lost 52 subs and gained 20 something back. Okay, like, I really don't care. That's not a lot to me, alright? Like, I wasn't canceled or anything like that, or oh my god, my channel is now fucking dead or something. But you went out of your way to say, well, losing like nearly like 100 subs and everything is a pretty big deal for a channel of your size. It's not at all. It didn't even affect me, okay? And besides, it was mainly people from your audience anyway, go figure, who unsubscribed and then kept coming back to my channel to attack me over the situation. And yes, I did block them, and I did block you as well on Twitter, but I already unblocked you on Twitter. Okay, I even blocked y'all on YouTube as well because y'all just kept coming to my darn channel, constantly talking about this lolicon situation when I told you I wanted it to be over. And people were spamming the same words over and over again saying, oh, well, you're a pedophile, you're a pedophile, oh, these are drawings of little kids, oh my god, you need to go kill yourself, oh, I hope the FBI come to you and everything like that. And I just got tired of it. So yes, I did block some comments, not remove them now, because for some reason people kept thinking that I like freaking removed some of the comments. I only removed like bot comments, okay? YouTube holds on to certain comments. First of all, when I look in the YouTube studio, some comments do pop up and then it says they're unavailable, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not the one removing it. I do block some of these darn accounts, but I don't know like how it's getting removed. And then it's like, oh wait, that's actually the YouTube comment automation system that's either holding these for review, which even then I don't approve of some of the comments that be getting shown, or, you know, they are automatically deleting them because of the things that they're saying in the comment. And it's not just with people who are coming to my channel and saying all this crazy stuff about me. It's with my own audience as well, and sometimes with some comments that I make as well just get automatically deleted by YouTube as well. So that's what I tried explaining to people when they kept saying, oh, why'd you remove my comment? Why'd you remove this and that? Like, I didn't remove your darn comment. My comments are getting removed sometimes as well when I respond back to people for some odd reason by YouTube. Even when they're like tame comments and I'm not even saying like anything crazy in them. It's just their darn automation system being stupid, I guess.
And now he's here, calling me a pedophile over an ambiguous, offhanded, harmless little joke I made towards a friend of mine.
Okay, but you're like 20 something years old, dude. You're like about my age and you're friends with minors online saying jokes like this towards them. And you have minors in your Twitter audio space and in your streams, and you constantly invite them on there and stuff. You have minors in your Discord server that you talk and hang out with. And I was told that this joke that you made towards Kim Josh-un was actually done in the general chat on your Discord for everyone to see, and nobody fucking said a thing, apparently, I guess, until it got brought up on Twitter. It's crazy to me, man. And you're trying to like, what, tell me that this isn't some kind of like red fucking flag or nothing, and yet you're over here whining about a damn drawing, dude. But no, you're saying this towards real people, towards a real minor, dude. Like, Homer Akemi is not a real person, number one. Number two, she's way older than me. Yes, she is listed as 14 on her darn Wikipedia page, but she is way older than me, considering the fact that she has time traveled for multiple years just to save her friend. And you make the claim that you've seen the show that she's from. If you did, you would know this fucking fact then. But no. Considering the fact that you tried to use her age against me to make it seem like, oh, well, he's a pedo because he said this over a drawing that has this arbitrary age. Number one, if you really want to go that darn route, okay, like I said before, due to time travel, she's way older than us, all right? Considering the fact that she has traveled back and forth from the past for multiple years just to save her darn friend, okay? Number two, the obvious as well. She's a fucking drawing, okay, people? Like, and she doesn't look like any real life person at all. Here we go. We're going to put a picture of her up on the screen, okay? There you go. You find a person who looks like this, who talks and acts the way she does, who can do action scenes like this, who can use guns and store them, freeze time, use gun kata, up close combat, who can float in the air and all this in real life, then I will shut the fuck up, okay?
At the same time, though, he wants to argue in bad faith by making these claims, while simultaneously having my friend blocked, and it's only because my friend just so happens to agree with me that lolicon is CP. And yet somehow I'm still the clout chaser that needs an echo chamber. Okay, buddy.
And that's exactly why I have him blocked, number one. Number two, I also have him blocked because, well, he's a darn minor, and I'm not gonna converse with one over the darn lolicon situation. They should not be involved in adult stuff. Not only does he think that I'm a pedo, and he also called me one on Twitter as well, talking about some unblock me, you pedo and stuff. He also is a minor, and I'm not dealing or associating with one. I've already made my stance clear that I don't think minors should even be on the internet around adults. Okay? So yes, not only does he stand with you on this whole lolicon situation and calls us pedos and stuff, but he's also a minor as well, and adults should not be conversing with them on adult topics. And yet this is something that you were baffled by, because I made a tweet saying that I don't want people following minors, and I don't want minors following my account on Twitter and stuff and involving themselves in adult spaces, because they should not even be online in the first place, and adults should not be conversing with minors about adult stuff to begin with. And for some reason in your Twitter audio space, you in your little group was like, well, why would he say something like that? That's very odd of him. How the fuck is that odd? That already tells me everything that I need to know, man. That for some reason it seems like you don't have an issue with that type of stuff, or at least a small aspect of it, considering the fact that you allow minors around you all the time online. That's very weird, considering the amount of aunties who were also the same way, who get outed for doing all this horrible and terrible stuff against minors, and yet they always complained about fictional content, mainly the lolly stuff. We have Seth the programmer, we got multiple VTubers, okay, we even have furries and stuff who have done this, and then they get outed as the real criminals in the end.
I will admit, the things Shaun has done to me recently did not make me feel good. My mental health went down the shitter the moment he started this. This is slander, and I won't tolerate it.
I mean, if you truly believe that and you really want to go that route, then why don't you just take me to court over the situation? Although I can, also take you to court over this whole situation as well, considering all the things you and your little group did to me and all the videos you guys have made on me as well. Also, the AI audio clips that you made on me as well, too, would also be used as evidence to help against my case if you truly want to go that route, that this is slander, Brother Nier 2.0. I mean, I don't think you're going to go that route right here where you'll try to sue me or anything, but, I'm just saying, it wouldn't be a very fucking good idea for you to if you ever decide to go that route.
I know for a fact that Shaun will act like I'm doing the same thing to him, but my accusations are not baseless. Yours are. I am accusing you, Shaun, of pedophilia, because you are constantly white knighting and consuming pedophilic material, drawn depictions of children in sexual situations. Let me make this distinction clear as well. I am not calling you a predator, I am not calling you a sex offender, and I'm not calling you a child molester. I am calling you a pedophile, a person that is attracted to children.
I mean, you are? And anyone with 2 brain cells that actually work right can tell that you are, and that you were before I did. I mean, considering what I did and what I said, it's pretty tame. I'm not going to sit here and excuse my actions and be like, oh, well, I was right for calling him a potential groomer for saying this about a minor and stuff. Maybe I shouldn't have said it. I'm not going to excuse my actions or anything. I'm not going to sit here and also sugarcoat shit either and be like, I was in the right for doing this. Because, to be honest, no, I wasn't. And that was my whole plan from the start, was to never be in the right when it came to what I said about Brother Nier 2.0 and what he made as a joke towards Kim Josh-un. No, I was getting revenge, to be honest. Okay? I'm not even going to sugarcoat it to you. Yes, I used this as an opportunity to get revenge against him because of all the shit that he said against me and the fact that I've been told him to stop with this whole situation. And yet, him and his crew didn't. they kept ragging on me. They kept coming after me over this whole thing. And when I was over here feeling down and depressed about this whole situation, people were comforting me and telling me it's going to be all right and that we're going to help you out with the situation. We're even going to try and see if we can reach Reps as Desu over this whole darn situation, which I did try to reach out to him multiple times. And I don't know if he saw my tweets or anything, but, you know, you can already tell he didn't actually come to help me with this whole situation. And I don't like blame him or anything for it, and I don't like harbor any ill will towards him for it. You know, I felt like I needed to handle this situation all on my own, pretty much, for the most part, and I will. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is, man, I'm not gonna act like I'm the fucking good guy in this situation. Okay, and I'm not going to act like I'm innocent because of what I said to Brother Nier 2.0 and rightfully calling him out over the joke that he made toward Kim Josh-un, okay? At the end of the day, this is just karmic justice right here, okay? I'm just dishing back to you what you dished out at me first. And now that you're the one with your back against the wall, and now that the game is no longer fun to play, you want to lash out and cry and sit here and feel all depressed and sad, ooh, woo, oh my god, I'm in my darn feelings and stuff. Because now the game isn't fun for you to play anymore. There's no one else being targeted and having people go after them except you, considering the fact that you said something to a real living, breathing person and people rightfully called you out for it. Not even just me. Even some people in your own audience started turning on you as well.
And what are you doing? You are calling me a groomer over an ambiguous joke I made towards my friend. Or rather, you are anticipating grooming allegations over a joke I made. You continue to spread this harmful misinformation both on Twitter and YouTube, trying to defame me for something I did not do, and never will.
I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I definitely said on Twitter that I cannot wait for the grooming allegations to come out against you, Brother Nier 2.0, for what you said against Kim Josh-un. And the reason why I said that is because you kept calling me a pedo over a darn drawing. You and Psychonautic Therapy and Thunderstruck 115 and plenty of others. So no, I'm not going to sugarcoat shit, and I'm not going to act like I'm the good guy in the situation or I'm completely innocent. We are all in the wrong in this, but I think it's, you know, better to look at the lesser of the two evils in this situation. Because, yeah, you know, maybe I shouldn't have retaliated back in such a way and said that you're a potential groomer and that I'm waiting for these allegations to come out against you because so many aunties and other creators have been outed for some terrible stuff as well after complaining about fictional content. But considering all that you've done, that you're coming at me over a damn drawing, you know, who do you think is going to look at the whole situation and decide which is the worst of this?
You and your degenerate scum of a community want to take me and several other people down because you can't accept the reality that you are all pedophiles. I want to make this clear as well. I am not against the existence of loli characters by themselves, but what I am against is the sexualization and fetishization of them. And don't try to paint this as if I don't care about actual children either. I've helped children in these awful situations. I made 2 videos on a Roblox child predator named Spookish, and I also made a video on another child predator who groomed a minor on Snapchat. And he also happened to be a defender of lolicon as well. Go figure. I also want to make this as clear to all of you as I possibly can, as I feel like this is the most damning part of this entire drama. ShaunTheLegend has the audacity to slander me like this, claiming that I'm some kind of groomer for making this joke towards my friend, but not once during this drama did he ever reach out to him. Not once did you seek clarification, or even simply ask if he was uncomfortable about the joke I made. This, by itself, is proof that you don't care about the well-being of children. I have made actual videos on pedophiles that have acted upon their evil desires. And outside of that, me and my friends have exposed several pedophiles and child predators as well. One of them actually got into prison because of us. This also includes Zero Needs Coffee, who had to expose his own admin and best friend at the time as a child predator for sending very explicit sex messages to a minor. What have you done, Sean?
Okay, well, I also made a video once on a pedo who also turned out to be a furry, and he was a groomer as well, and he runs his own cult, and he had his own Discord and Telegram server and stuff, and he's still active to this day because this guy evaded the darn police back when he was a hot topic. His name is Chris Bryant, or Cymbeline as he's also known online, and he runs Furry Valley. And this video of mine didn't even get that many darn views, and yet I still made it. I even talked to some of his victims in Telegram calls and in my Discord server once over this darn situation, and things that I've learned about that he did were pretty darn fucked up, okay? So yeah, let's not sit here and try and act like I haven't done anything, or I haven't called out pedos before either, or made videos on them, or delved into this topic before. Alright? I mean, where was all of this at when I made this darn video, huh? Like, where was any help at when I made this type of video right here against this person? And I was honestly hoping that as time passed, this video would start getting recognized more, and Chris Bryant would be rightfully called out, because this guy in his community is still active to this day after evading the police. And I was a very small channel at the time when I made this video. Like, I was barely even 300 darn subs, and yet I had people coming to me, talking to me about this whole Chris Bryant Cymbeline situation, things that he did, showing me like hundreds of images and stuff of the things that he did, which I don't really have saved anymore. Most of what I did have is now in the video and stuff. If you guys want to view it, I will leave it in the link in the description down below.
Morally grandstand on behalf of my friend despite the fact he doesn't agree with you, and you flat out refuse to get into any contact with him? Yeah, you're a fucking joke.
First of all, asking a minor if they were uncomfortable about a sexual joke that was made towards them about an adult, and them saying, oh, well, actually, it doesn't make me uncomfortable at all to have an adult say this about me, does not excuse you for making a sexual joke towards a fucking minor, first of all, because their brain isn't even completely developed enough yet, and they're still under the age of consent, okay? Like, come on now, man. Are you really trying to go that route and be like, oh, well, since Kim Josh-un was okay with this joke that I made towards him, and he wasn't uncomfortable by it, it totally makes it valid for me to, you know, do this right here, because the minor in question didn't even have an issue with it. I want to see you take some shit like that up with his darn parents and see what they actually think, and see what you've been saying to him online, okay? Or any other minor in question. Make a joke like that in front of the parents, or make a joke like that and then go tell the parents about it, or have the minor tell the parents about it, and see what their reactions would be, because minors can't really think for themselves, as they're not 18 or 21 yet. They're not old enough to even be drafted into the military. They're not old enough to drink. They're not old enough to really live on their own and provide for their darn selves, okay? Their brains are not entirely developed, and they do dumb things a lot of times, as we all did when we were kids, okay? So let's not go that route, Brother Nier 2.0, by saying, well, you know, Kim Josh-un, you didn't even reach out to him to see if he was uncomfortable with it, and then you showing a screenshot of him saying, well, it didn't really make me uncomfortable, and I'm fine with it since we're friends. Like, that doesn't excuse you, a grown adult around my age, saying this towards him, man, just because he was okay with it. That right there truly does sound like a groomer mentality. Like, what the fuck? Oh yeah, Zero Needs Coffee, another minor that you also hang around, who's also a much bigger content creator than you, but only due to the fact that he bots his subs. And also, he's a very big ass hypocrite, just like you are. Probably even just a small bit more than you are, considering the fact that this dude had a hentai meme in his Discord server of Marine Kitagawa, who is 15. And then when I called him out over it because he tried to freaking talk about how, oh, well, you guys over here on Twitter keep sexualizing all these characters that are underage and everything, and then when I called him out for having a hentai meme of a character who was underage, you in Psychonautic Therapy came to his darn defense, and he defended himself as well by saying, oh, well, I didn't know at the time, and I made a mistake and everything and all that, and you kept saying the same thing as well, saying, oh, well, he fucked up right there, we're totally not being a hypocrite, but we're gonna excuse him him for it, even though you think that having images of characters that are canonically underage is CP, dude. So by that definition, that would mean that Zero Needs Coffee is withholding CP if we're going by you and your whole crew's dumbass logic, and yet you're excusing him for this. As you can see by the screenshots up here, man, it's honestly crazy to me how much of a hypocrite Brother Nier 2.0 and Zero Needs Coffee truly are. You're the one who are coming at people over a drawing, and you're talking about I'm the one morally grandstanding. None of this would have happened in the first place if you didn't get your fucking panties in a twist over a damn lolly drawing, dude. None of this would have happened if you weren't trying to seek brownie points and recognition on the internet over a drawing. Okay, you're the one who was morally grandstanding, not me. The mental gymnastics just do not make any sense to me, man. And I know what Brother Nier 2.0 is going to do, okay? He's going to sit here and be like, oh, well, you're the one with the mental gymnastics and stuff, and just keep repeating the same darn points about how it actually is CP, and you're the one morally grandstanding because the joke that I made towards Kim Josh-un isn't actually sexual, and that we're friends and everything. It's going to be an, actually moment for Brother Nier 2.0. I guarantee it. Because during his stream that he had on me, where he had a bunch of creators like Gara of the Rage and stuff come on there, and they looked at my response video to him, they disregarded some of the images that I put up on the screen that debunked their points.
I know you don't actually care about Josh. The only reason you're doing all of this is because you have a personal vendetta against me. And because despite the fact you've said numerous times that you're done with me and the drama, you don't want the drama to actually die.
I didn't want the drama to end. I'm the one who asked you and your whole crew multiple times to leave me alone over this situation. But no, you guys kept coming at me over it, even though I told you I'm long over this darn situation. So I just decided to say, fuck it. I'm going to keep coming at you guys as well, since you don't want to leave me alone. And yeah, okay, I basically sat here and got revenge against you, and rightfully so, because holy shit, dude, you made a joke like this towards a minor and you're trying to defend it as it being just a joke, but that still does not make it right. And also, if people were really coming at you over here saying that, oh, you actually are a groomer and stuff, well, that's not really my fault, because I'm not the one who made a joke like this towards a minor, dude. Like, what? Also, you say that I don't want this drama to end, yet you're the one who's always on Twitter, constantly liking these posts by aunties calling lolicons pedophiles. These aunties that are always harassing VTubers like Fallen Shadow and freaking Rune Bunara or Alice Alucard, okay? Like, you were over here retweeting, liking posts, quote retweeting posts by a bunch of aunties who kept saying this stuff, talking about how they wanted to freaking kill lolicons, or how they wanted them to be put in prison, or how, oh, well, these VTubers over here with lolly models are role-playing children and stuff. There were a bunch of aunties coming at Fallen Shadow, and you were literally sitting over there liking and retweeting a bunch of their posts. And yes, I did look through your darn tweets on Twitter, because that's exactly what you and Batakanta and Psychonautic Therapy did to me as well. So I'm going to do the same thing to you. I'm going to look at what you were liking and retweeting, and I'm going to put these images right up here on the darn screen for people to see, where this is Brother Nier's likes on Twitter, where there's a bunch of people coming at Fallen Shadow on Twitter over her darn lolly model. So I'm just going to say this to you, Brother Nier 2.0. If you really want the drama to end, you know, then why do you keep liking, retweeting, making replies, making all these quote retweets and stuff towards lolicons and stuff, constantly getting in debates and arguments with them, or constantly retweeting all these darn posts about aunties and stuff, not letting go of the situation? You're constantly on Twitter whining about the whole lolly stuff, dude. Like, any chance you get, you'll even like a post by a minor who is also a furry. It's crazy to me, man. But no, it's basically rules for thee, but not for me. Like, no, I'm allowed to sit here and complain about this content, but you guys coming at me, criticizing me for either making a joke like this towards a minor, or for, you know, me coming at you and claiming that you're this heinous term that's now been watered down. Because yes, I do think that the word pedophilia has now been watered down online, sadly, because look at here, man, it's been watered down plenty of times, and you know it's bad when you hear someone call somebody a pedophile online, and then you think in your mind, are they actually attracted to children, or is this person just calling someone a pedophile because they see an icky drawing that they like and they're not a fan of it, or they take issue with this problematic fiction? That's how you know the word has been watered down, when you have to make two distinctions between what they mean. Are they actually attracted to kids, or is someone just saying this over a damn icky lolly drawing? That's wild to me. Like, words like this should not be fucking watered down at all. There should be one sole definition for it. You shouldn't have to make some distinction now between what someone is talking about. Like, it's crazy to me. And I guarantee you, I'm going to be looked at as the crazy one for bringing this up by Brother Nier 2.0 and his whole crew and many others, if and when they view this response video, because I know they are, okay? I know they're going to probably even make responses or some little shitty obscure stream to his nearly 5K channel now, because he's almost at 5K ever since he put up his I'm being slandered video, where he tried to play the victim and act like he was all innocent in this situation, you know, calling out someone that he thinks is a pedo over a drawing. But let's move on.
You want to take every single opportunity you can try and destroy every inkling of my credibility by grasping for straws. Because of you, people are starting to actually believe I'm some sort of groomer, and not once did they ever ask for clarification or my side. You don't want peace. You want war. Well, buddy, you're getting one. And I'm not going to regret a single second of it.
Like I said before, it's fine for you to sit here and find this disgusting, nasty, abhorrent, repulsive, whatever, weird, creepy, whatever you want to say, okay? But
oh my, Sean. I wonder why people find it weird, creepy, and disgusting that you are consuming lolicon. It couldn't be because you are admitting to being attracted to fictional depictions of children in sexual situations, right? It doesn't matter how much in your video or anywhere else do you downplay it all as just drawings, because clearly the author behind these works has the explicit intent to portray a fictional child into a sex act. There is no other way to interpret what these characters look like besides just that. Children.
No. Once again, this is something that you love to do a lot, is twist words to fit your narrative. You've been doing that a lot with me since this whole drama started. That's not what I said at all. Where in the fuck did I say that at, man? No. Nobody said that. Not me. Okay? You came up with that out of the blue. Like it's going in one ear and out the other. It's like you hear what you want to hear. You take those words that you heard and then you blend them around until it creates the narrative that you want in your mind. Like, I didn't say that. What are you talking about, man? No. And I also love how you're going to assume why people take issues with these drawings all the time, because there are many different reasons for why people do sometimes. Okay, yes, there's the dumb aunties who keep thinking, oh, well, it's a depiction of a kid and everything, or it's depicting a real person and all that in these sexual situations. Those are the idiots thinking that. Some people just are either not into it or they just find it gross. There's many reasons for why people do. But you know what? I'm not even going to get too much more into this darn video because it's over an hour long, and he basically just rallies all his little big content creators, you know, like commentary content creators, like even Griffin Gaming hopped in on this. Garab the Rage came in on this. Zero Needs Coffee came in. Thunderstruck, Kratosis, and plenty of others as well came in to this video to defend him for making a sexual joke towards a darn minor and calling me a pedo over a drawing. So I'm not even going to cover the entire fucking video. I just wanted to cover a little bit of the beginning part And my response towards him is already really darn long, and this video is already really long. So what we're going to do is get into the situation that happened on Twitter. I'm going to cover a few things that have already happened and some new things, such as him, you know, not letting this whole darn thing go and just constantly liking and retweeting posts by aunties, or just constantly talking out against lolly content in general. Let's just get into it. If you feel a sexual attraction to lollies, then you are a fucking weirdo. It is not controversial to say that. They are not 1,000 years old. Nobody even uses that argument anyways. Zero Needs Coffee, except you and a bunch of other aunties. Like, come on now. I mean, there are literally lollies like Tatsumaki who are adults. Like, they're in their 20s. And then there's also this lolly right here, which is 30-something years old and has kids and is even married. And many, many darn others. No lolicon really uses the actually they're actually like 5,000 or 500 years old argument, except you and many other aunties. It is not okay because it is animated. Lolly is a form of CP, get a gym membership. And then of course here's Brother Nier 2.0 screenshotting his darn image and then making a community post about it, talking about some how to tell in 1 second when the lolicon defense right is waging war on Twitter for the 5,000th time at Zero Needs Coffee, because the fact that his stupid tweet got 16 quote retweets and only 38 likes. Yeah, you know, Brother Nier 2.0 is constantly picking the fights with lolicons and stuff all on Twitter all the darn time whenever he gets a chance. Him and his little crew. Then there's also this right here. Twitter losers, creeps, pedos. She's actually like 300 years old, and then some freaking basement dwelling looking dude. And then here's Brother Nier 2.0. Of course, you know, tagging Ween, saying, I should be getting paid for how predictable these people are. And then looking at the quotes, there's 11 quote retweets and only 21 likes. And of course, Brother Nier 2.0 liked and retweeted his stupid tweet. I don't even know what to say, man. It's just crazy to me. It's honestly crazy to me. Imagine being 34 years old, spending your time watching adults putting on child voices while they play with stuffed animals. What are you talking about, man? This is what I was talking about, how creators and aunties and stuff was coming at Fallen Shadow because of her darn lolly model and stuff. All on Twitter, they were coming at her. It's just ridiculous to me, dude. She's not putting on no darn child voice. That's what she actually sounds like, okay? Like, what are you talking about? And how do you know how old Fallen Shadow is? Yes, she's an adult, but how the fuck do you know if she's 34 years old or not? By the way, this Twitter account right here is by Tom Dark. Yeah, that commentary channel who makes these cringe-ass thumbnails that you can see on the screen right here. Ooh, boy. And then, of course, you know, there's just many other tweets that we're going to get into. But I also want to look at some YouTube comments as well. Specifically the ones on Brother Nier's video with his audience and everything coming out and freaking defending him, or either saying, oh, poor Brother Nier 2.0, poor this and that, ShaunTheLegend is a really evil person for coming at you and everything, for making this joke towards a minor. He should have just known that it was only a joke and that you did nothing wrong. It's crazy to me, man. The lengths people are go to defend making these types of jokes towards a minor, and yet we'll sit here and whine about fictional content towards people who are doing nothing at all to anyone in the living, breathing, real world. You seriously need to stop trying to put labels on people over fiction. You are wasting your time. Don't matter if it's a drawing, pal. Yes, it does. It matters a lot. You just don't see it because you are a leftist who thinks in fifis instead of objectivity. I don't know what this has to do with Brother Nier 2.0 being a leftist or whatever. Otherwise, that I do agree with this person's point that he needs to stop wasting his darn time whining about a drawing and putting labels on people over it. Also, here's someone calling out Brother Nier 2.0 for following the dev of Ultra Kill Hakita Don't you follow Hikita, the Ultra Kill dev? You do realize he ships a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old anime character from the show Neon Genesis Evangelion together, right? It's all in his Twitter like, so it seems very hypocritical to be fine with that, but constantly whine about a lewd lolly drawing. Now, I actually did research on this, and Brother Nier 2.0 does, in fact, follow Hikita, and I know he praises him in his darn game a lot, and Hikita is a fan of the darn ship. What was it? It's a ship in Neon Genesis Evangelion between Shinji and another male character. Now, for anyone who knows Evangelion, you would know that Shinji is about 14 years old, and the other character is about 14 or 15 as well. And Hikita is a very big fan of this ship, and the art is all in his darn likes. Now, that is definitely very hypocritical of Brother Nier 2.0 to sit here and follow a dev like this, who is very clearly a fan of two minors being shipped together in a anime, and yet he doesn't like say anything about it, or he doesn't speak out against it. He follows this dev as well, and I'm pretty sure he's seen artwork from this dev. He's probably even looked through Hikita's likes and everything, and this is nothing against Hikita because I think the guy is very cool, but I think it's just very hypocritical as well, like this account pointed out, that he follows Hikita, who very clearly is a fan of this darn ship. And yet he wants to sit here and whine about a darn lolly drawing. It's crazy to me. Even though he is overreacting and definitely the bad guy, what comes around goes around. If you're a hunter, then be prepared to be hunted. Also, in this case, not giving you a benefit of the doubt, or else pick your words more carefully, because this is a slippery moral topic, especially on the internet in these days. Fair enough. By all manner of US law, any form of lolly CP is illegal. That's really stupid right there. That's kind of like an oxymoron, saying lolly CP. Like, it's, even then, it's not CP anyways. Be it a drawing, sculpture, or an IRL picture. So I clearly understand where you're coming from. But for someone in his position, also counted that he is actively promoting it, he is by all manner a real criminal. If he did it privately and didn't use any IRL CP, why would we care, even though it's gross? That doesn't make a single lick of fucking sense right there. What are you talking about, man? It's not CP at all. Okay, I've already gone over this. Do I need to put the screenshots up on the screen again for you people to read? Okay. At 6:35, Nier is claiming that he never accused that guy as being a criminal, while before all this, Nier was claiming that in the US, which is correct, lying CP is a criminal offense. Just thought I'd point it out. This guy can go to jail with what Nier is saying, while Nier claims he's not accusing him in said matter. The other guy is a hypocrite, but Nier isn't 100% neither. What? Wait, hold on, whoa, wait. How am I a hypocrite? Hold on. I'm not understanding this point right here. Now, here's another person who has never really spoken out on this whole situation with me and Brother Nier 2.0. But he did address this in a stream because Brother Nier 2.0 came onto his darn stream. And the creator I'm talking about is Fratanga, where he tried to make the claim that lollies are only for padding, not looting and stuff, and that's always been the rule, or some bullshit that he said. And it's weird to me that he's speaking out against this, considering the things that he said on Twitter in the past, which I'm going to show right here. Bust the dude for having a lolly profile pic. What kind of logic is that? Exactly. Thanks for proving my point. You get rid of them and notice no one was ever hurt by their existence. We were on the verge of busting a legit pedo ring run by world leaders, but nah, man, it's people online with lollipics who are the ones we should bust. I rest my case. They are not hurting anyone. The sun keeps them and their virginity at bay. Now, it seems very hypocritical for Tanga to say stuff like this and then go on stream and sit here and possibly agree with Brother Nier about how, well, if it's not really CP, then why aren't you reporting it? If it's really CP, why aren't you reporting it to the police and the authorities and stuff, you know? It's crazy to me, but I'm gonna play the clip right here.
Right?
Didn't they like it?
No,
and then they put
like,
here's one responded
no, for real. Let me ask real quick. That's like if you accidentally scrolled on child porn and accidentally liked it. How? You know what I mean? Why are you scrolling on something like that?
But
and how are you accidentally seeing it and then accidentally liking it?
But Frit, if lolicon was child porn, why don't you report it to the police?
Here's the thing, lollies are not for fucking sexualization. Lollies are for patting. You pat a lolly on the head. You don't sexualize a lolly. What the fuck?
True. He's true, you know.
There's a difference. Like, lollies are not for sexualization at all. Like, what? You can't accidentally like something like that. I just don't. I'm a little like, what?
Dude, wait till you see the entire discourse I went through on Twitter with the whole lolicon defense force.
Thank you for telling me ahead of time. I don't want to see
My God, that was the other thing too. British Potato made that one video, and there were so many people that I've seen in this comments section. They're defending it. It was disgusting.
They're only for head pats. They are not for fapping. That's the rule on lollies.
Here's another tweet by another deranged anti-targeting lolicons on Twitter. A little 9mm won't stop your neck breaking and hanging off a tree, you fucking pedophile. It's honestly just wild to me that someone really sat here and typed this out. All over a icky drawing. I don't even know what to say about this, man. It's crazy. Honestly darn crazy. Now, here we go with another creator body concept who made that darn video on me, calling me out and everything and stuff. No, I've joked around with this darn video in my previous one and just sped the entire thing up and made it seem like I was going to make an actual response, but I didn't. It really pissed him and a lot of other people off, including Brother Nier 2.0 when I did that. And that's because this video was a nothing burger, like I said in my video, because him and everyone else, all they did was just repeat the same fucking points that I need to get help over a darn drawing, and that I need therapy, and yada yada yada, and stuff like this. Or it's crazy to me. So what was there to really respond to besides the fact that they were all just slandering me all over a drawing? But let's look at his darn community post towards me. Context. It has been discovered that Shaun publicly admitting to wanting to bone a 14-year-old anime character, fully confirming that he is, in fact, a pedo. I've already told you guys how Homer Akemi is actually older than me due to time travel. Come on now, people. Following this, he tried to distract from the fact by taking an incredibly tame and obvious joke. No, it wasn't tame. He made a sexual joke towards a minor. Brother Nier made out of proportion, since he genuinely thought it was serious. After he has been dunked on by every party involved, he changed the tune to policing what jokes one is and isn't allowed to make. Shawnee is a pedo and is desperate to save face. In other more positive news, one of Shawnee's CP supporters on Twitter got suspended for, who would have guessed, creating and distributing CP. Now, that's actually fucking wrong as well. Okay, they're talking about one of my followers who got suspended a little bit on Twitter. Okay, and the CP in question, as you can guess, is just drawings, a lolly drawing, okay, of an anime character, of course. Oh, and by the way, this person who followed me and got suspended is actually back. Truly a rare Twitter W. Still, Twitter will always be an L. For any further updates, refer to the description of my video on the situation. Now, Shawnee, I don't want to hear you bitching about this, considering you were complaining that not enough people were calling you a pedo. What? When did I ever say that? Great self-awareness, by the way. Laughing my ass off. My offer to get you therapy is off due to your childish behavior, but despite this, maybe instead of perpetuating drama, playing the victim, and attention-seeking on Twitter, get some serious help. It's only $80 a session after all. Like I told you before, I don't want your bullshit money where you sit over here and try to claim that I'm some criminal or that I'm some freaking pedo over a darn drawing. And you offering me $200 to go seek therapy is incredibly fucking disrespectful, which is actually the reason why I sped your video up in the first place. And I knew it would tick you off and make it seem like, oh, well, he's not willing to make a proper response because all he wants to do is deflect criticism. That's very rude and disrespectful of him to do. Like, it isn't disrespectful for you to sit here and say, I'll give you $200 so you can go seek therapy over this darn anime drawing because you're a pedo over it, man. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, anybody with Functioning brain cells can already see what's wrong with that darn statement right there. Let's move on to some more stuff. The fact that Sean's immediate thought upon any invite to someone's home, joke or not, is sexual in nature says a lot about the type of incel he is. Okay, now I'm an incel. Also, why would a grown adult who's in their 20s invite a 17-year-old minor to their house alone? And they're both gay. Like, dude, you don't see what's wrong with that context right there? What the fuck? Why is a grown adult alone with a minor that he doesn't know? You guys know each other online, but I doubt you guys know each other fucking IRL and stuff. Maybe you do. You claim to be friends and everything. I don't know why Brother Nier 2.0 is constantly friends with minors, but like, why is that a scenario where a minor needs to come hang out at an adult's house alone? Like, if you don't see what's wrong with that situation right there, I don't know what to tell you. Jesus, man. Hope he stays locked up in his mom's basement at this point. He isn't going to get better no matter who tells him to or who offers to pay the fee. He's a ticking time bomb, plain and simple, and like bombs, they're best if they go off in an enclosed space where no one has to see the mess afterwards. Sean, I'm done with this drama. Also, Sean, oh, dare you make a joke to one of your friends on Discord? You're a pedo. I'm so happy I left Twitter, and as someone who used to be subbed to Sean, I'm utterly disgusted. Sean has officially become the cretins he despised, and not just that, but he betrayed you over lolly shit. The levels of low and pettiness is imaginable. I think he meant to say unimaginable, I don't know. And then here's me leaving a comment saying, me and neither weren't even close. We barely knew each other. How'd I betray him? Because this person is acting like we were like close friends or something. You know, like we went to high school together, or like we were like childhood friends or some shit. I don't know, man. We shared a drink with each other or something. I don't know. It's crazy to me. I also wanted to point out that this guy definitely needs help. He destroyed his own channel. Wrong. I think the internet would better off if he never existed. This motherfucker is completely insane. As a guy who likes anime, I just like the art style. Well, I can tell you one thing, man. You need to fix up your tweets a little bit right there, dude. It was hard to read that. Once a sicko, always a sicko. Dude needs to get a life at this point. Spread love to Nier. I'm really sorry about all of this. I hope that you'll be feeling better soon. Keep up the great work. Yeah, just a bunch of people stroking off Brother Nier 2.0, man. It's crazy to me. Him in his darn echo chamber, truly believing that there's nothing wrong here and that I'm the one who's in the wrong, all because of a fucking drawing. It's crazy, yo. It's crazy. Holy crap, you've brought the Avengers of the commentary community against this guy. This is truly a worse threat than Thanos. It's funny how he just straight up lies in his community post saying anime drawing and not what it actually is, and making baseless accusations to make himself look better. It's an anime drawing of Homura Akemi. You really cooked him alive, bro. Great video. I hope you feel better. Allegations like these and hate must be very hard. Fuck this Sean guy. Just what? Oh my god. And then here's someone coming into his darn comment section and going, this is still a terrible thing to do over a joke. However, I still greatly disagree with Lolicon being CP. I feel as if it's a moral gray area. Just my opinion, however, but this is how I feel. A drawn child in an act is CP. A fake drawing of a childlike character in an act not CP, and that's just how it is, depending on the state. Frankly, this is just a clashing of beliefs, and also I am not a fan of either of you, and I am just seeing this, and I agree he has been taking this too far. I called him out over a joke he made towards a minor, which he shouldn't have made in the first place, and I'm the one taking this too far, but no. Him making AI audio clips of me saying that I like kids and stuff is not taking it too far. Like, what? He's so done with the drama, he's now projecting hard. Can't take criticism. Sneeko and Under the Mail. Misunderstanding of legal system. Quantum TV. Depends distribution of children in sexualized situations. Sneeko. Flames and Flanders communities. Under the Mail. Why am I able to compare ShaunTheLegend, these freaks? I think you meant to say to these freaks. But I don't know what you're seeing there. Okay, like I'm able to take criticism, okay? People have criticized me all the time in my darn YouTube comments and on Twitter, and I have never once blocked somebody for having criticism about me, okay? What Brother Nier 2.0 is not telling you is that the people that I blocked, okay, were people who were just constantly saying that I was a pedo and stuff and that I like kids over a darn anime drawing. That's not criticism for you to sit here and make fake accusations like that against someone. That's not criticism, okay? And I don't know what you mean by misunderstanding of the legal system and relating that to me and Quantum TV. Like, I'm not the one who is over here using outdated laws and Protect Acts from years ago. Also, I didn't defend no distribution of children, okay, because that's not what lollies are, and ShaunTheLegend really out here fucking around and finding out. The fact he really thought that red herring of a text might actually do something, but then just shows his hand and just uses people for his own monetary gain is just outright pathetic. Dude needs to take a long walk off a short dot. What? Who? What people did I use for my own monetary gain? What money am I gaining off of this situation? What? Just so you know, my last video got demonetized because of some of the clips that I used. Okay? Like, I'm not gaining any money off of this fucking situation. Okay? Like, what? There's no people that I use for some monetary gain. What is this false narrative you're spinning about me, man? I think we're done with this situation. Anyway, this was a lot to unpack, okay? Like, this took months to gather, okay? I got a feeling that this video is gonna cause a lot of backlash against me. And hey, I'm all for it, you know? It's whatever, you know? Don't know if it's gonna be Brother Nier 2.0 and his audience, or if it's just gonna be a bunch of antis, or if it's gonna be a mix of both. You know, because I pretty much targeted a bunch of creators in this darn video and called out a bunch of creators, okay, over a lot of their hypocritical views and points towards fictional content. But, yeah. I really don't know how to end this video off, okay? Except, I'm just gonna say that going forward, I will be making more content similar to this. You know, because I really want to move away from commentary stuff now and just focus on video game related material, anime related material, and just, you know, the whole stance around problematic fiction and stuff. And I also want to cover more antis as well and their deranged behavior on Twitter towards problematic fiction. But with that being said, if you made it to the end of this video, because this is a very long one, then congrats to you. Hit the like button and subscribe, you know, or leave a like down below, or dislike the video if you dislike it. Okay? And I will see you guys in the next video, whatever that one may be. This is me, Mitsune Nika, and I'm out. You all have a blessed day. I'm gonna get some sleep.